Put him on the field.
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons. By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh, my God. The Jets killed him.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. It's the Sportsocracy, and we are heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. We are seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat. Today we're fixing all the NFL teams. Oh, wait. Sorry.
Yep.
You moved on the board from yesterday.
You do have to turn the mic on or nobody can hear me.
See, I turned the brick on because that's where you were yesterday.
Nobody there.
There's nobody there.
I mean, there might be, but we don't need to know what they have to say.
There's no one.
Because after yesterday, it might not be nice things about me. So
the only thing we would run the risk of is listening in on Ray Stajic as he cuts the weather forecasts.
Today we're going to fix holes. NFL teams.
I love plugging holes.
Everybody does. We
Can't use a ring for that, by the way.
Correct. We have one giant need for every NFL team. I have found one player in the 2026 NFL draft that is attainable for every team that can fix their problem.
Nice. The Eagles Living the Dream Tour are going to wrap up for the season, for the year, in just 1 month as we head to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for the Yinzer Excrement Show. It's going to be fun at the 2026 NFL Draft and taking you along on the ride with us.
We are going to talk about things in Yinzertown momentarily because that steers into the biggest need for the team that's hosting the draft. I also, and I try to undersell and overdeliver.
Okay.
We have the single greatest crime story in the history of crimes. Mm-hmm. It has everything you want. Mm-hmm. It has mystery. Mm-hmm. It has intrigue. Mm-hmm. And it will leave you going, how the hell did he do that? Just, could you possibly explain the metrics of how that happened? Mm-hmm. I've been trying to figure it out for 18 hours. It is the single crime story that has been sent to me the most times in one day in the history of this show. And secret time, you're not going to get any resolution from me. But you know what you are going to get? A whole bunch of jokes.
A whole bunch.
A whole bunch. A whole bunch. Okay. Of jokes.
Many much moosing.
It is single-handedly the craziest story I've ever heard.
It's a doozy. That's
this fella put one foot in front of the other. It's a good little foot soldier, and he single-handedly took over the Sportsocracy for about 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Now that all of you know the story I'm talking about, because I feel like it's not going to catch anybody off guard.
No, we should all know by now.
Yeah, it's that's the one. It's the one you think it is. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I've worked on some jokes, and there's going to be some people that don't like them, and that's fine. Yeah. We'll give them a hand.
Yeah. Stay tuned. We've got all of your favorite segments coming up. The most important message of the day. We'll get weird. We'll get just a bit outside. And we'll talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike McCarthy on record. He says Aaron Rodgers, the reunion would be a great story. Awesome.
That didn't tell me anything, Mike. Mm-mm. You know what would have been funnier? And it would have been so Mike McCarthy. If when he was asked that question, if he just thought really hard and he just said, it would be neat. It would be a neat thing to have happen if Aaron would come back here. Because if he doesn't, I'm pretty sure they're going to end up playing me at quarterback.
Mm-hmm. He went on to illuminate, to say that he feels like, I think he's talking about Aaron here, that he feels like Aaron is in a really good place. I think he's in a really good place.
Is his wife?
That's all we got.
Is his wife in a really good place? Is she in a place where we can see her?
Of course, Mike McCarthy going back home to Pittsburgh. Of course, aligning with the quarterback who he had 20 years ago in the NFL in Green Bay would be a pretty cool story. But that's all it would be.
It's the best option you have, and it's not close.
Absolutely. What else are you going to do?
Mason Rudolph.
Right. Are we going to start old Denthead or
I don't think that's it's accurate.
100%. Or are we going to take Ty Simpson at number 20?
Hey,
or 21 or whatever.
According to Dan Orlovsky, he has watched the tape, and that is the best quarterback in this class.
Oh, Dan.
Dan, can I give you a piece of advice? Just say it the way you mean it, which is this quarterback class sucks, and Ty Simpson has the highest upside of any of them. And secret time, I don't disagree with you if you said it that way. The problem is that you said it in a way that made it sound like Ty Simpson is good. And I hate to break it to you, breaking news, he's not.
No, he's not.
And right now, he's horror awful. That kid's a year away from being a year away if I've ever seen a quarterback that is a year away from being a year away.
Mm-hmm. Him or Zach Wilson coming in?
Coming in?
Yeah.
Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson had a better arm. He was more mobile. Now, he had a 10-cent brain. The only problem I have with Ty Simpson's brain is he kind of has this deer mentality, which is, oh, no, I'm stuck on the interstate. Let me just throw myself in front of this car, because he does that with edge rushers from time to time. Oh, no, they're going to get me. I might as well just get myself.
I want to see where he lands today in the latest mock drafts.
I saw one. I saw one that I'm pretty sure we need to keep Red Sea away from, because the Cardinals traded down. I can't remember who they got, but then they traded up to get Ty Simpson.
Yep. Proposed trade: Cardinals move back into round one to take the Bills slot.
Why is this so hard for every mock drafter to understand? The only team that's going to do that's the Pittsburgh Steelers, because they're the only one that's any good. I mean, that Pittsburgh roster can win right now. They can make playoffs in 2026. That would shock me in the least.
Sure.
That's the one that looks at Ty Simpson and goes, holy sheep shearer, I have to do something, or I'm going to be starting what's still left out there? It was the funniest name I could say here. Nope, Gardner Minshew's not out there. Anthony Richardson as my starter in 26.
Well, I mean, look, at least this mock draft from Field Yates,
friend of the program.
Yeah, I love Field. Field's cool. He almost hit him with a truck.
I did. I almost ran him over with a car one time. That happened. That's a thing that happened. It was the end of Field Yates.
I like Field, and look. It's quite a possibility that does happen. I have seen some mock drafts that are just insane. Ty Simpson at 10, Ty Simpson at 12.
16. I don't know how, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure why this is so hard for some NFL people to get their brain around. This quarterback, you can say it until you're blue in the face. I was right 4 years ago? Mm-hmm. The Kenny Pickett class? Mm-hmm. I was right then, and I'm right now. It's not going to happen, because any team that has access to a quarterback in 27 is not going to spit in the face of that for Ty Simpson. They're not going to do it. The Dolphins aren't going to do it. The Jets aren't going to do it. The Cardinals aren't going to do it. I can keep doing this.
Most of the time it is the Pittsburgh Steelers that do it in mock drafts, but they're like trading up to get Ty Simpson. Why would you do that? Think about it for a second. Who are they competing with to get Ty Simpson, where they would feel like they had to trade up from 20, because I've seen this one a bunch and it involves my team, them trading up from 21 to 15 to go get Ty Simpson. I guess ahead of the Jets, afraid that the Jets would take him at 16.
No way.
But
there's a better chance the Jets take Homer Simpson at 16 than Ty Simpson, because they know what this is. Mm-hmm. I have my quarterback for this year. I did that for a reason. Do you really, honest to God, think Darren Muji went, you know what we should do? We should reunite with Geno Smith just for the karmic, just for good vibes. Because, the last time he was here, he got his jaw broke by a linebacker. Yeah, we should fix that. No, that's not why they did that. They did that because they're looking at next year going, that's the one. Oh, and by the way, we have 3 first-round picks in that class. Think we'll be just fine.
No doubt about it.
There's one team that can do this. It's been one team. It will always be one team. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the thing I don't understand, and I don't know why I'm explaining a theory from the 80s in 2026 that people do not seem to understand. You ever heard the term trickle-down economics?
Yeah.
We kind of have that here. But it's not working exactly how old Ronnie said it would. The trickle-down is that the supply is outrageous next year. This year, it sucks on ice. So all of these guys that you think are going to go at 16 or 21 or a trade up to 26 or any of the things you're doing, they're not that valuable. Ty Simpson's a third-round pick, period. If you watch the tape and you can show me a reason he's not, I'll happily listen to you. Now, here's the problem. I'm going to watch all of it and go, you actually believe that, don't you? And then I'm going to think you're a moron, and I'll never listen to another word you ever say. Because his tape at times is painful to watch.
But they'll give you the highlight tape. That's the thing.
I don't need the highlight tape.
Looking at the
Let's go. Allow me to take you down the old rabbit hole of a game that I sat there and watched. Unfortunately, like watching a squirrel get hit by a car over and over and over and over again. Let me take you back to that SEC championship tape. I'll go play by play. You show me the one play in that against a legit defense. Not a great one. It was not a great Georgia defense. No. It was a very young, very immature, very accident-prone Georgia defense. He did not look like a college quarterback, let alone an NFL quarterback. I said this from the rooftops. If I'm the agent of Ty Simpson, I will grab him by the ears and shake him until he understands you do not come out in this class. I don't care how high you'll go. I don't care. It doesn't matter. You're dooming yourself to failure. The one spot he works is Pittsburgh. They don't have to take him in round 1 because there's no competition for him in round 1. Because you look at every team that needs a quarterback. Just be really unabashedly honest about this. The Miami Dolphins, they're committed to Malik Willis for a year. After a year, you can get out of it just the same way the New York Jets just did with Justin Fields. The New York Jets, they're committed to Geno Smith for 1 year. The Cleveland Browns are committed to Shedeur Sanders for 1 year. We'll skip Pittsburgh because, they're the example that proves the rule. The Indianapolis Colts are committed to Daniel Jones. The Las Vegas Raiders are taking Fernando Mendoza at 1. The Arizona Cardinals have Jacoby Brissett, which will get them through a bridge year with a mediocre at best roster, with a new coach that's got a lot of latitude. The Los Angeles Rams, they make a fraction of sense. It would take until round 3 before they would go, yeah, that's what we're going to do. And I think they're more likely to take Nussmeier than they are Simpson. Because Nussmeier, to me, strikes me as more of a McVay guy than Ty Simpson ever has. The Carolina Panthers committed to Bryce Young for a year. The Atlanta Falcons are committed to either Michael Penix or Tua Tagovailoa for a year. Minnesota's committed to Kyler Murray for a year. I believe that is. I believe I have found the end of our list. Every one of those teams has a guy that will get them through a year. I don't need Ty Simpson. Because Ty Simpson, at best, would be the 9th quarterback in next year's class. At best. I'm not even sure he'd be that high. Because there are a handful of guys that I don't know will come out. They might. That could have a bit of a star turn. He could end up as the 12th best quarterback in this class. How in the world am I going to sell my ownership group on that? I'm taking a guy that, at best, will be the 4th best quarterback in his division for the next 10 years. And I'm going to commit a first-round pick. That's stupid. It's stupid.
And it typically takes a bad franchise to pull off a move like that.
Look at how many times
which I think is why they're settling for, or why Fields today was like, hey, Cardinals will do that.
You know why? Do you know why people keep settling? Because I can explain it to you really easily. Because for some reason the word tanking is a bad word. It's a bad word. Oh, we can't imagine that any team would go into a year knowing they're going to go 4-13. Let me say this as clearly as I can. There are no less than 5 teams in the NFL right now that know their high side is winning 5 games next year, and they're so happy about it, they're like a pig in excrement, just rolling around going, losses!
Yep.
Give me all the losses!
Yep.
Because I could have Arch Manning, who is going to be an absolute bazaar of funds. I could have Lenore Sellers. I could have Julian Sayin. I could have a slew of guys that are in next year's class. I don't need Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson is a sweater at a Goodwill when the Armani store has a shipment coming in an hour. Yeah, I can wear this urine-soaked garment, but I don't have to. Unless I'm going to freeze to death in the next hour, I can wait. Stop doing it. I know where he's going to fall. I've told you this. How many years in a row do I have to be right about quarterbacks when everybody else in this industry is in a rush to be wrong? I don't get it. I'll never get it. Yes, this is not a good class. It is not good enough of a class for Ty Simpson to find his way into round 1 with anybody but the Pittsburgh Steelers. Or a moronic franchise that is dumber than I think they are. That's it. Nobody's trading up for him. Nobody. I'll dare you to take him. Because the way I think this is going to go is the exact same way it went with all the quarterbacks in that Pickett class. They're all laughing at Pittsburgh going, we had similar grades on all these guys. You took one in round 1, and the rest of them are going to fall to round 3. And then you're going to have Malik Willis and Sam Howell and all these guys that wash out of the league. I'm out of third-round pick. I've seen third-round picks not make the roster before.
Right.
Ja'Kai Polite looking right at you.
It reminds me a lot of the 2010 class. The 2010 class where we had Sam Bradford, no doubt number 1. Everybody knew that's what was going to happen. You had Tim Tebow, who was the wild card. Everybody knew how great he was in college, but would he be any good in the NFL? You knew somebody was going to jump on him pretty high. And then who the Carolina Panthers take? The top of the second round.
Jimmy Clausen.
2010, Jimmy Clausen. And I just can't ignore going back to Mel Kiper, who was just all over
Jimmy Clausen's going to be
Jimmy Clausen.
Todd. Listen, Jimmy Clausen, great measurables, high level of intelligence, going to be a great starter for the Carolina Panthers. None of that was ever true. For 1 second.
He said, "I will stake my career on Jimmy Clausen is going to be a great quarterback in the NFL." You can say that. It's free to say stuff.
I love Mel Kiper. I do. I love Mel Kiper. But he is the Ric Flair of career-ending declarations. I think Ric Flair had my career versus your title matches like 14 times. Mm-hmm. He lost 12 of them, and then he would appear somewhere else like 2 weeks later.
Yeah. It's just because he was the next quarterback in line that everybody, or that some of the pundits, I guess we say, fell in love with him. Or made you feel like he was worth something because he was the next quarterback on the list. I never saw that out of Jimmy Clausen. I never thought Jimmy Clausen was going to be a good NFL quarterback.
I thought he was a fine developmental prospect, but he was a year away from being a year away.
But in a small window, you look at that and go, well, there's only 3. They all have to be great because they're at the top of the class. No, that's not necessarily true. I mean, we've said it before on this show. Fernando Mendoza, if this were a loaded class of stars.
Next year he'd be 5, 6.
Second-round pick. Top of the second round. And now the Las Vegas Raiders have to put their whole franchise
they don't have to.
On the number 1 pick.
They don't have to. They're going to.
No.
I mean, I've said that a half a dozen times. If I'm the Raiders, okay. You're sold on I love playing football for Kirk Cignetti. It is so great to play football. I am so blessed to do that. It's a wonderful life that I get to live. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll let you do that.
Yes, I agree.
And I think he's fine. Mm-hmm. He's Kirk Cousins. That is the comp to him.
Low ceiling, high floor. That's not a number 1 draft pick to me. But you're stuck because you need a quarterback and you're the team that drew the number. And so you have to convince yourself that he's better than he actually is because you're going to spend the number 1 draft pick on him.
Well, Mendoza's a lot like Bradford. He's so significantly better than what we have or what we could have that if we miss and the Jets take him at 2 and he becomes the king of New York and he's the 8th best quarterback in the league, we look like idiots.
Yes.
Because
then
we
lose your job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We do have a question in the YouTube chat that I want to get to. It's from Bob Brown. Said Philly appears to be getting calls for Tanner McKee. Where's my bell? There it is. Like I said they would. Where do you think he would fit in well to start? Well, I think he would fit in several places. The problem is that Philadelphia is asking for a price that no one's going to pay, which is I'm going to give up a 2 for the right to pay a guy what could be a Matt Flynn deal. Tanner McKee was always worth about a 4 conditionally. It's a 4 next year. If we make the playoffs this year, it's a 2. If we re-sign him next offseason, it's a 3. That's where he belongs. It's just for Philadelphia, I'm not going to give him up for that. Because there's a great chance you're not going to re-sign him, because if he's not just fantastic, you probably go 5-12, and you sit there and go, oh, okay, I can just let him go to one of these teams that has no access to a quarterback, Pittsburgh, which, by the way, that's the answer. You should call Pittsburgh and go, hey, let's talk about something. You want off that Aaron Rodgers ride? I have a fellow that can get you off of it. Or you can tell him to go have another ayahuasca there, bruh.
Yeah.
Tanner McKee's the right call.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, Tanner McKee is the exact reason that I'm so confident Ty Simpson's going to fall further than you think. Because every team in the league looked at him, who is significantly better than Ty Simpson right now, and went, no, we're good. Mm-hmm. We'll roll with Geno or Kyler Murray, who fits in that Kevin O'Connell system like I fit in a dress. Just, nope. I can't wait to watch him just sitting in the pocket, jumping over linemen like, I can't see! Everything goes over the middle! This is stupid! Why did I come here?
You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. The only thing that makes sense, at least in my head, and probably to the Pittsburgh front office, if you're not going to give up draft capital to go and get Tanner McKee, bring back Aaron Rodgers. Make the playoffs one more time. Set yourself up for next year. Because, hey, next year, even if you're picking at 21, guess what? You're probably going to get a quarterback that's comparable to the guy they're picking at number 1 this year.
Yep.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. We'll be right back.
We honor the biggest stars from all genres of music that you love listening to all year long.
Don't miss our 2026 iHeartRadio Music Awards. Watch live on Fox Thursday night starting at 8 p.m. and listen on iHeartRadio stations across America and the free iHeart app.
Trashy is a proud partner of the 2026 iHeartRadio Music Awards. This spring, turn your closet clutter into rewards with the Take Back Bag. Learn more and get started at trashy.io.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out.
This is an important message for all parents of teens. If your teen or preteen is or has been addicted to social media sites such as Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, or YouTube, and they have suffered from eating disorders, body image issues, anxiety, depression, or suicidal thoughts, you may be eligible to participate in a lawsuit for significant compensation. Disclosures by a Facebook whistleblower show Instagram and Facebook know their social media platforms were highly addictive and may have caused eating disorders, body image issues, depression, and suicidal ideation. It appears these social media companies knew they had been causing serious harm to kids, but have done little to stop it. If your teen has been harmed by social media like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, or YouTube, then you could be eligible for significant compensation. If you'd like to discuss a lawsuit, text PARENT to 323232. Parent to 323232. Parent to 323232.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson, Media Advertising Specialists, LLC, is responsible for the content of this ad with principal offices in Chicago, Illinois.
It all started with a bracket full of dreams. And soon, one team will cut down the nets. College hoops are in the spotlight and have everyone talking.
You think you know what's going to happen, but it never goes as scripted.
Lock in Fox Sports Radio is your number 1 preset on the iHeartRadio app for the hottest takes, biggest interviews, and complete coverage. Plus, binge on-demand podcast for more coverage like Good Game with Sarah Spain.
Basketball, and more basketball.
Search college basketball on the iHeartRadio app and listen now.
This season isn't a reset, it's a reminder that champions don't disappear. They reload, and the 2026 Atlanta Braves are ready.
And Acuna swings a mighty bat. That thing is way out of the ballpark. chopping toward another playoff run. Sale, Strider, and Schwellenbach. Acuna, Albies, Olsen, and Baldwin. The Mountains' home for Braves baseball is ESPN Asheville. Proudly brought to you by Parks Ford of Hendersonville.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our value of commitment. Committed to you as our customers and the community that we serve. To do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Clarissa sells WNC as the #1 team in Buncombe County. We have the customer service experience to assist you in achieving your real estate goals. Our team offers something that 90% of listings in our market won't have, Zillow Showcase. Check us out at clarissasellswnc.com.
It's the moment you dream of, the moment you work for, train for, run wind sprints when nobody's watching for. The moment when hours of gym time, court time, prep time, all culminate into this time. The moment when millions of bounces, blocks, and boards all add up to this. Your moment. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumping a bag of hammers.
We are back in the Sportsocracy. Today, we're fixing every NFL team with the one piece that can really help you in the 2026 NFL Draft. All of the names that we mentioned today are gettable by your team in the draft. So it's not just, the Washington Commanders would benefit from a running back. So Jeremiah Love
potentially
could possibly be there.
He's potentially gettable. More of what I was talking about is the Cleveland Browns need a quarterback. They get Fernando Mendoza.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's not going to happen because I know where he's going.
Right.
These are pieces that you could actually tangibly attain.
Right. Okay. All right. So we'll start with the AFC West.
They have the #1 pick. Feels like a mighty fine place to start.
The Las Vegas Raiders. Is it Fernando Mendoza?
Well, I didn't want to cheat the Raiders. So yes, obviously Fernando Mendoza is the one because you got to have a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Then I get to, well, what can you do with the other picks to make it make sense? And I keep coming back to this guy. It's Elijah Surratt.
Mm-hmm.
Do you realize how bad the receiver room for the Raiders is right now?
Yes.
Especially if you were not one of the – if Clint Kubiak didn't really believe in Jack Betch, which a good number of teams in the league didn't, and I get it. Clint Kubiak's a slotty guy. I mean, he just won a Super Bowl as an OC with 3 of them. What was that look on your face?
No, I opened up the ESPN draft or the ESPN depth chart for the Las Vegas Raiders. They have a wide receiver listed on their depth chart. Trey Tucker, and that's it.
So right now it's Trey Tucker, Jalen Naylor, Jack Betch, Dante Thornton, and you get Brandon Rice, Philip Dorsett really quick.
Ooh.
You need somebody that he can count on.
I didn't even realize Philip Dorsett was still hanging around.
You know what's funny? Neither did he. I think he was just sitting at home and heard me say that and went, oh, crap, I forgot. I'm supposed to be with the Raiders right now, aren't I? I like Elijah Surratt because he has a familiarity with Fernando Mendoza.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mendoza is going to have a tough transition into the league because he's not your average quarterback. He's very all shucksy doodles. And I think he needs that ally. I mean, we do this with guys all the time. You draft a quarterback and then you hook him up with his college buddy because he's comfortable. I think Mendoza needs that more than the average quarterback does.
Okay.
And Surratt, to me, strikes me as the one that you don't necessarily have to take as early.
I thought Surratt was the better piece for Fernando at Indiana. And
I would agree. I'm not as sold on Omar Cooper as everybody else.
Right. The fact that every mock drafter I see that goes goes more than one round often puts Fernando with Omar Cooper, and every time I see it, I go, "That's not the one. That's not the one that I want."
I wouldn't be mad at that. The problem is, I think Omar Cooper and Trey Tucker are kind of a hat on hat.
Mm-hmm.
Naylor he can be somewhat of a garbage man, but Surratt's the one that I think can play on the outside. He can play in the slot as well, and that's his safety blanket.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're basically going to have to function Brock Bowers as the de facto one.
Yes.
There's no other way to run this offense.
Yes.
That, to me, opens up some opportunities for Surratt where I like him better at 67, and that allows the Raiders at 36 to just go get the best player on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have to be a receiver. I don't think it will be a receiver. You can take whoever it is that you fall in love with.
All right, so the player to fix the Raiders, they're already getting Mendoza at 1. So the player to fix the Raiders is Elijah Surratt, his teammate at Indiana. The Kansas City Chiefs.
I feel like this is probably the easiest one in this entire circumstance.
Okay.
It's Mansour Delane. Now, am I telling you can get him at 5 or at 9 after he just ran a 4.35? No, I'm not. Because there is a possibility that he goes higher than that. Certified in our YouTube chat just said, is Mansour Delane to the Commanders a reach? No.
Mm-mm.
I think Delane is probably the safety net for Washington if the guys they want aren't there, which to me is the edges.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's no Arvell Reese, David Bailey, Sonny Styles, and yes, I know Styles is a linebacker, but don't worry, we'll get there. If they're not there, I think Delane is their safety net. The thing that I'm stuck on is I think one of them's going to be there. And it's probably not the one you think.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Washington will go with one of those guys. The one that would scare me is New Orleans. Because those local scouts probably got real good eyes on Mansour Delane.
Sure.
And they know how good he is. And there's not a player that makes a ton of sense unless New Orleans looks at it the way that I do.
Mm-hmm.
But Mansour Delane's the one, if you're Kansas City, he comes in, he's your number one corner off the rip. And then everybody else slides down a spot, and it makes me feel better about their secondary than I do right now. Because right now I think the secondary is an absolute disaster.
So Mansour Delane is more impactful to you than adding Kenyon Sadiq for the future or Jeremiah Love. We talked a lot about Jeremiah
Love's we get back into that attainable thing. I don't think Love's not getting out of the top 5.
Okay.
So for me, would I like to have Jeremiah Love? Not in Kansas City, but I looked at a couple teams there in the 6 to 10 range going, yeah, Jeremiah Love would be great. Well, so would Fernando Mendoza, but he's not going to be there.
It's not going to happen. All right, Mansour Delane, cornerback out of LSU, to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Los Angeles Chargers need what?
The Chargers were a tough one because I had to get a little cute. I tried not to use anybody a second time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one guy didn't have the opportunity to not do that. I mean, the Chargers' biggest need is what?
Oh, I don't know. What is it?
It's offensive line. You've got to fix that line somehow. And I just don't feel like they've done enough to do it. For me, it's Emmanuel Pregnon. And I know not everybody loves him that high. I do. And if I'm looking at the Chargers right now.
Ooh, that would be nasty. I just looked at the depth chart thinking, you replace Cole Strange with Emmanuel Pregnon, and then you go out with Biotish in the center. You got Penning and Pregnon. And then the tackles are hopefully healthy, Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt. And I can deal with that.
For sure. And see, my thought with Pregnon over, say, Caden Proctor is that I know Pregnon can play center. So that even gives me an extra layer of protection. So if Biotish were to get hurt, I have Cole Strange as the third guard, which is what I think, by the way, that's what I think they signed him to be. I feel pretty sure that the Chargers are looking at that first-round pick going, it's either Pregnon or it's Caden Proctor if Pregnon were to somehow go in front of him. I don't necessarily think he's going to.
Right.
I think it's probably Pregnon.
Okay.
Right. And then I've got that center guard. malleable piece that can play either one.
Mm-hmm. Then the Denver Broncos, picking last in the first round.
They don't pick last in the first round.
Do they not?
They traded that for Jalen Waddle. First of all, they don't pick last because they were at 30.
Yeah, 30, excuse me.
But they traded that for Jalen Waddle, so their pick's at 62. If you've watched our content over the time, you know there's a player that I really like giving to the Denver Broncos, and his name is Eli Stowers, tight end out of Vanderbilt. I don't necessarily know that that's their biggest need. The problem is that I don't see a player that addresses what I think your biggest need is. So, I mean, for me to pull one out of my keister and say, well, they need a nose tackle, so if Caden McDonald were to fall to 62, the same thing happened to him, happened to old Cornhole Boy that we're going to talk about later today, where he ain't got no arms or legs. Because short of that, he ain't falling to 62. So you've got to find somebody that makes sense. And to me, Stowers makes sense. Okay. And I think if you look at their moves over the course of this offseason, where you get the over-the-top threat in Jalen Waddle, you've already got the trash man in Cortland Sutton. You've still got Pat Bryant, who Sean Payton thinks he's Michael Thomas. I think he's closer to Thomas Michael, but sure, why not? You've still got Marvin Mims that can be a specialty piece. Eli Stowers is the guy that comes in and is that joker that you wanted. Mm-hmm. It's not Evan Ingram. It's never going to be Evan Ingram. And I think Stowers comes in and starts right away.
All right, Eli Stowers to the Denver Broncos. Emmanuel Pregnon, the guard out of Oregon, goes to the Los Angeles Chargers. The piece to fix the Kansas City Chiefs at 9 is Mansour Delane. And the Las Vegas Raiders go with Elijah Surratt in the third round, I guess.
67, I think, was the pick I had him in.
Okay. To match up with Fernando Mendoza, that's the piece that could fix them because they're already getting Fernando. We all know that.
If you're watching this on YouTube, you hear your team, you have somebody you want to check out there, I'm trying my best to keep an eye on that. But throw those out there. Mm-hmm. For me, the AFC West, the reason we started there, A, that's where the draft starts. B, to me, it was probably the easiest division out of all 8 to figure out exactly what you needed. As we go, some of them get a little bit harder.
Yep. The AFC East coming up next. What's the one piece in the NFL draft that your team needs? We'll get to all of them.
ESPN Asheville, your mountain weather forecast.
Not a bad run here now. Temperatures have backed off just a bit. If you didn't prep for the cooler weather this morning, tomorrow morning could be a little bit colder. Actually, it will be. 60, a little bit more sunshine this afternoon. Tonight to about 35 is where the overnight low is going to go with more clouds later. Wednesday, any clouds around give way to sunshine, 65. Thursday, sunny, mild, upper 70s, and probably close to 80 on Friday and mostly sunny. For the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Staging.
This report is sponsored by Jimmy's Automotive Center.
Spring is here, and so are the road trips. Make sure your car is ready for every mile with Jimmy's Automotive. Jump on their spring specials and save $29.99 on an alignment. Plus, check out their spring labor specials. Get details at jimmysauto.com. Jimmy's Automotive. That's where customers send their friends.
Running for office means having something important to say. Radio is the most personal medium out there. Voters hear the real you, exactly the way you want to be heard. No filters, no AI. Just your voice, your message. And it's 1/10 the time and cost of video. Don't just campaign. Connect with millions all over the country, even thousands in the smallest communities with radio. Call now and be on the air in just 48 hours. 844-844-iHeart. That's 844-844-iHeart.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Got a hot take?
Read the room.
Don't let it die in the group chat. Tap the red talkback mic on the iHeartRadio app and join the show.
Love the show, but I disagree with you guys.
It's the fastest way to get your voice on the air. Say it, send it, and hear it on the iHeartRadio app.
It's the moment you dream of, the moment you work for. All culminate into this time. Your moment. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
I'm Coley Duffy.
I'm Cody Ward.
And
we're the Chainsaw Brothers.
Actually, we're cousins. A few days after Helene, we was in the driveway having a couple beers, waiting on the power to come back on. And we heard so many people calling, needing trees removed, and couldn't afford it.
So I called my dad to borrow a chainsaw, and over the next few months, we cleared trees for our neighbors. Our business was born out of wanting to help Western North Carolina get back on our feet.
We are fully insured and licensed. We keep our promises, meaning if we say we're going to be there, we'll be there. In these parts, we live how we were raised.
When you call the Chainsaw Brothers, you're not a customer, you're family. We're good at what we do, and we do it for a reasonable cost.
For all your chainsaw needs, call the Chainsaw Brothers. 828-316-1013. Or find us on Facebook. See how we treat our family.
Are you still covered up with storm damage and debris?
Call us about our daily rates at 828-316-1013. That's 828-316-1013. We're the Chainsaw Brothers, and with our neighbors, we are Western North Carolina strong.
Woohoo!
Clarissa sells WNC as the #1 team in Buncombe County. We have the customer service experience to assist you in achieving your real estate goals. Our team offers something that 90% of listings in our market won't have, Zillow Showcase. Check us out at clarissasellswnc.com.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. You know what happens this week, Jeremy, in the sports world?
Not much of any note.
Oh, come on. We got the Sweet 16 on Thursday and Friday.
Woo!
Come on.
I'll watch it. I mean, I'll watch it passively.
Of course you will. And Major League Baseball opening day coming up on Thursday. We got Braves coverage here on ESPN Asheville.
Yay.
As much as Jeremy loves baseball. We're in the decision-making process, though, for all of the rosters. They're making all their final decisions on who's up and who's down. And I got to give it to Skip Schumacher, the new manager for the Texas Rangers. He made the moment that the guy gets the call very special, very memorable, as Carter Baumler, the 24-year-old relief pitcher, was up on the mound in spring training last night. 5th inning, Skip Schumacher comes out to the mound for a mound visit in the middle of an at-bat, and Carter was like, "What's happening? I'm grooving. What's going on?" Skip goes up to the mound to tell him that he made the actual roster for opening day. And you can imagine the feeling that the kid had. And then he comes out and after Skip leaves the mound, strikes out the batter. He's got a new job and a memory that'll last forever. Because that's better than getting just a phone call when you're sitting at home, to me. Kid's had a pretty good spring training. And hopefully he'll have a good career in Major League Baseball. It's a pretty cool moment.
My story... Yeah, I'm a draft nerd, so my story's about the NFL draft. Tank, you have not had any involvement in the bookings of accommodations and the like. So I'm going to ask you a handful of questions. I just want to see how close you can get.
Okay.
We're selling, different packages and stuff for the NFL draft. How much do you think that parking at the Rivers Casino, which is right next to Heinz Field, how much is that?
$125
per day.
Yep.
4 days. If you buy all 4 days, you pay $500. You get it for $125 a day.
Okay.
If you don't do that, it's $250 a day to park.
That's nuts.
You might want to hold on to that because we haven't gotten to nuts yet.
Oh,
you want to talk about nuts? Let's get nuts. How much do you think the Residence Inn on North Shore is?
For parking or for staying?
For staying.
For staying.
How much is a 2-queen bed room per night? For posterity's sake, this is 0.4 of a mile from where the stage in Pittsburgh is.
I will say $1,100 a night.
Okay, you went a little.
Did I go way too high?
It's a Residence Inn. This is a step over the Mountaineer Inn, if that tells you anything.
Residence Inns are nicer than that, aren't they? Okay. I've never stayed at a Renaissance Inn. So,
do you know what do you know why they call the Residence Inn the Residence Inn?
Oh, it's Residence or not Renaissance?
No, it's Residence Inn.
Residence Inn.
Do you know why they call it that? Because after 2 nights staying here, I don't care how crappy your house is, you will love your residence. Because this will make you feel like you're sleeping.
All right, so
a
let me
bridge.
go like half, like 6.
Now you're too low. $810 a night. That's for all 5 nights. So somewhere there is somebody paying $800 a night to see day 3 of the NFL draft. Which, by the way, it makes me feel a lot better about what I paid for the NFL draft house this year. Because it wasn't that. Now, the coup de grace, if we will. The NFL is selling a day 2 NFL draft package.
Okay.
Day 2 is round 2 and 3. Here's what you get. You are not guaranteed a seat. But it does come with beer, wine, soft drinks, and a railing to stand against whilst watching the 2nd and 3rd rounders.
Standing room only. Okay.
You also get access to the hospitality lounge, which is, I'm assuming, where the beer, wine, and soda pops come in. You also get an NFL draft gifting and a premium entrance. How much is that?
Premium entrance.
Do you know what that means?
A special door that you go through?
Yeah, it means you don't have to stand in line with the plebes. You have to stand in line with the other suckers that paid the number I'm about to say.
$2,400
for 2 people. Yeah,
$1,250
a piece.
Yeah,
$1,250 a piece, and you get a railing and some soda pops. Pittsburgh, come on! Like you're going Green Bay kooky here.
Are we doing this at the Is this
the stage is right beside Heinz? So the Acrisure. So Acrisure is on the river.
So it's like in the parking lot of the stadium.
Kinda. You'll when you see it, you'll understand why it's hard for me to kind of.
Okay.
Yes, to a degree. The stadium's right on the river. The prospects themselves will be across the river, and we're bringing them across on duck boats. Which, by the way, I think is undeniably the stupidest idea I've ever heard.
It's a terrible idea.
You and I will be behind the stage, behind Heinz Field. So we have media parking. So neener.
There'll be none of that for us.
Yeah, we won't. Somebody looks at me and says, "You pay $200 to park my driveway." How about I pay $1 and you kiss my keister? How about that?
Is this in a residential neighborhood too? I've never been there, so I don't know.
This is in downtown.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The problem with
driveways,
and this is we keep running into this with where we decide to do the NFL draft. We keep running into this thing that some of these cities they really struggle with. What's that word? Hotel rooms. We need a lot of them. Okay, there's going to be 1 million people here, which means you need how many hotel rooms? About 600,000. Pittsburgh doesn't have anywhere near that. So that will be why we are staying out in the burbs, bruh. Not quite as bad as the Snake Oil Pleasure Club, but or what was it? Rattlesnake Trail Pleasure Club, whatever it was.
If that's what you want to do with your money, you go right ahead and do so. But I've been to the NFL draft. Night
Twice.
1, maybe night 1 would be worth that, right? $1,200 to get you, all the hospitality things, and I don't need a place to sit down. I mean, I'll find a place to sit down.
I just keep thinking. All I can think about is the Chris Rock. That what was his name? Cheapskate.
Oh, on In Living Color,
Yeah.
where he's like, "How about I just give you $200 and you hold the TV in front of my face?"
$200 for a parking ticket. Good Lord, that's a lot of money. How about I pay you $7? You let me sit in the grass.
How about I pay $39.95 a month and watch it at home on TV? Because that's where I'm at. There's nothing. Like, I'm thinking back to Green Bay last year. The most exciting thing that happened on day 2 of the draft in Green Bay last year, what was it for you? Because I have one moment in my mind.
I saw 2 homeless guys fighting over what looked like a half-eaten pretzel. That was undeniably the most action that I saw.
I was thinking of the Baron Sorrells draft pick. Like, that was the only moment of the day that was like, yeah! Why? And even if you were, was that day 3? I felt like that was day 2.
Sun was out.
Okay.
Remember they trotted him up there and the sun was out?
Okay.
I think it's in round 4.
But even that is one of the only memorable moments of the draft.
Oh, no.
I don't think we need to do that.
No, the most memorable part of day 2 was the parade of people that came up to me going, do you know why Shedeur Sanders has fallen so much? Yeah, the same reason I told you yesterday. Listen to me. Yeah. I am telling you the same thing I've told you the whole time.
Yeah.
That's probably why I don't remember day 2, because by that time, that's when everybody had started to figure out, hey, Luke Combs up there, I think he knows something. Let's go ask him if he'll tell us.
Right. This is going to last a while.
Q Myers and I were laughing about that at the Combine. He's like, you were the only one, and you were so loud about it. And then everybody was talking about you behind your back, and then they came to you and went, what do you know, great Mr. Miyagi? I know exactly what I told you.
I know he's not good at football.
I know exactly what I told you. I talked to a bunch of people in this league, and you know what they all universally told me? I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not a math magician, but there's only 32 teams. And if 25 of you have said, nope, we're running out of numbers.
Yep.
I mean, I didn't need my fingers and toesies to figure that one out.
All right, we are fixing all of the NFL teams with the one piece in the NFL draft that is attainable for you and can fill your team's biggest spot. In the AFC East, we start with Jeremy's New York Jets, who have the number 2 pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. Your piece is Arvell Reese.
I think it has to be. And look, this kind of falls into – it's why I'm very careful to be super dogmatic or really aggressive on takes before free agency unfolds. Because if you had told me – I'll go a month ago, as we were lathering up to head to the Combine. If you had told me I would be sitting here beating the drum that the New York Jets' best tact at 2 was to take Arvell Reese, I would have said you're out of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
But then this thing called free agency happened, and you wind up with a trade where you get Tavondre Sweat, who's now going to be in the middle of that defense. You don't have Jermaine Johnson on the edge anymore. You've replaced him with Joseph Asai, Kingsley Enagbare. You got a couple young guys that you have behind Will McDonald that's going to have to prop him up. And then I'm looking at the linebacker core. I will give you $1 if you can name me the current slotted starting linebackers for the New York Jets.
Can't do it.
So DeMario Davis is obviously the –
let's see, I forgot they had gotten him.
Jamie Sherwood's going to play somewhere. The problem is that he's a middle linebacker too, so we don't actively know, where are we planning on putting him? The 2 that are slotted in there right now are Kobe King. Do you remember that name?
No, I do not.
We talked about him. Penn State kid. He went to Minnesota last year.
Okay.
He's not great at football. Let's just put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And the other Maui Noah, that would be Kiko Maui Noah. That's their 2 starting linebackers right now. So, I mean, you've already told me what you're doing because you're not going to go David Bailey when you already have Will McDonald. I don't see a way that you take Sonny Styles over Arvell Reese. That would shock me. But it's the Jets, so I shouldn't say it would shock me that much.
Mm-hmm.
Quentin Coples on line over Melvin Ingram. I'll never get over that as long as I live.
Mm-hmm.
I think the secondary is better than people think it is because people forget they have Azareye'h Thomas. So, yes, you are playing Brandon Stevens.
Yeah.
Nashawn Wright's going to go somewhere. I think it's probably Nashawn Wright, Azareye'h Thomas, and Jarvis Brownlee. You've got Cisco, Minka, and Dane Belton in the back half. Well, I mean, the one position that's screaming to me, hey, we have to address this, is linebacker.
Yeah.
So, yes, I understand how you would take Arvell Reese that high, and I'm not going to lie to you. You could convince me that defense is going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's because I got jet-colored glasses on, but I think I'm the most pessimistic Jet fan on the planet Earth. So I don't think that's what it is.
I don't know. I look at this group and go, how could this have ended worse for you? Because Brandon Stevens is the bane of your existence.
Yeah, I could see a path he's not.
And you didn't like Nashawn Wright either. Like, going into free agency, you were like, I don't know, that's the one guy I don't want.
Do you remember how much money I said he was going to get?
No.
I said $20 million a year.
Oh,
he got
yeah.
$5.
He got $5.
So,
sure. I mean, he's a bit of a deal. So the money was more of a reason that you liked him, not necessarily the play.
Oh, I was scared to death somebody was going to give him big boy money.
Okay.
Him as a spot, he's going to start for a year as REA develops and maybe Stevens still starts. I'm going to say I doubt it.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I put all that together and go, the defense is not terrible.
Sure.
The offensive line to me is I'm pretty okay with the line.
Right.
I still need another receiver. But thankfully, thanks to the Indianapolis Colts, I have 2 picks. And I would prefer Jordan Tyson, who is falling now. He didn't run at his pro day. Yeah. We didn't talk about that yesterday. I had it in my notes. I don't know why I didn't bring it up. He didn't run at his pro day because the hamstring's still bothering him. That means we're at 4 months of one hamstring.
Mm-hmm.
That is terrifying. I don't care how clear your medical was. That tells me you do not heal from soft tissue injuries quick.
Yeah. So the piece to fix the New York Jets, Arvell Reese at number 2. We'll continue. What's the piece that your team needs to fix itself in the upcoming 2026 NFL Draft? We'll continue with the rest of the AFC East after this.
ESPN Asheville, your mountain weather forecast.
Not a bad run here now. Temperatures have backed off just a bit. If you didn't prep for the cooler weather this morning, tomorrow morning could be a little bit colder. Actually, it will be. 60, a little bit more sunshine this afternoon. Tonight to about 35 is where the overnight low is going to go with more clouds later. Wednesday, any clouds around give way to sunshine, 65. Thursday, sunny, mild, upper 70s, and probably close to 80 on Friday and mostly sunny. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Staging.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. The sun is shining and spring is calling at Lowe's. Start the season strong with amazing deals. Buy 3 bags, get 3 free of Stay Green 1 cubic foot garden soil. Valid through March 25th, while supplies last. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our value of urgency, timely, responsive, focused, prioritizing you as our customer and the community that we serve to do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
I need a little range, step to the range.
There's a new flavor in town, the Jalapeno Ranch Club at Chick-fil-A. With that juicy Chick-fil-A original spicy or grilled chicken, a buttermilk ranch bun, candied bacon, pepper jack cheese, and jalapeno ranch sauce. It's got big ranch vibes with a little heat. Chick-fil-A's new Jalapeno Ranch Club, available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
With 10 extravagant items for $3 or less, Taco Bell's new Luxe Value menu is starting to feel utterly fancy, especially with its new chocolate fudge and caramel empanadas. Enjoy. Just don't let the Luxe go to your head. Price and participation varies for a limited time. Tax extra.
Champions don't disappear. They reload. And the 2026 Atlanta Braves are ready.
Chopping toward another playoff run. The Mountain's home for Braves baseball, ESPN Asheville. Brought to you by Parks Ford of Hendersonville.
Selling your home? Don't settle for average. Our real estate team at Clarissa Sells WNC and eXp Realty offers Zillow Showcase, an exclusive AI-powered listing experience available to just the top 10% of all listings in our area. With immersive media, cutting-edge design, and elevated marketing, Showcase listings, they go pending quicker and sell for up to $9,000 more than standard listings. Ready to stand out in a crowded market? Give our team a call today, 828-774-6343, because your home deserves the spotlight.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, can potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
Asheville's #1 sports station, ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
We are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We are the Sportsocracy and heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app, seen everywhere on the YouTube. We're fixing all the NFL teams today with the one piece in the NFL draft that your team can attain that will solve a bunch of your problems. Not all of your problems. Obviously, there are teams in this league that cannot be fixed by just one thing.
But it's ironic you brought that up when you brought it up.
Because our next team to fix is the Miami Dolphins.
This is the only team in the NFL that I did this for. You physically cannot mess this up by just going best player available. And before you say, oh, well, that's not true, let me ask you a question. Name me the player that they could take at 11 where you're going to go, you shouldn't have done that. Because I can answer that for you. And it's probably the one that everybody's clamoring for.
Okay.
If you take a wide receiver at 11, you did it wrong. Oh, but Miami doesn't have any receivers. They don't have anything else either.
Right. They don't have anybody to throw to them.
And none of the receivers belong there. None of them. Because every one of them would be the number one in Miami, uncontested, not close. Do you think Mekhi Lemon is that guy? Because I don't. At least not off the jump. Jordan Tyson could be, but the medical scares me. Carnell Tate, I've always said I think he's better as a 1B. Denzel Boston, good luck with that. If I'm able to double cover that kid, oh boy. Oh boy.
Talk about making somebody irrelevant. Stunting their growth.
I genuinely think receivers the one thing they can mess this up with.
Okay.
There are 10 guys, 8 to 10 guys, depending on the team, that just have a significantly higher grade than everybody else. One of those guys is going to fall to the Miami Dolphins. It's basic math. I'm looking at my rankings right now. Caleb Downs, Francis Maui-Noah, David Bailey, Mansour Delane, Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, Reuben Bain, Spencer Fano. I'm missing one. Or am I missing one? Oh, Jeremiah Love. Jeremiah Love ain't following you.
Oh, no.
So that was the one that I took out because I know definitively he's not following you. One of those guys is going to be there. I don't really care which one it is. I don't care if Spencer Fano. Is that the name you said?
No, I said Freeling. Monroe
Freeling. I don't care which one you take. You need everything. But where bad teams make mistakes is that they start reaching because they have an unbelievable hole in one place. There are plenty of receivers in this draft. You can come out of this with 2, not taking one in the first round. Now, if one falls to you at 30 and Denzel Boston's sitting there, okay, I view this way differently now. But taking him at 11, no, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Just take the one that falls in your lap, whoever it is.
Best player available for the Miami Dolphins.
Because there is physically not a player in this draft that you could take at 11 that would make any sense, that would not start for you immediately. Gambit fan said Jesus. The Miami Dolphins need Jesus. Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
They need to wash themselves in the creek because it's not going well.
Next up in the AFC East, the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, I screwed that up because I'm so used to.
So used to Buffalo being at the top.
For me, it's C.J. Allen. I think they've had a huge hole at linebacker for a long time. Buffalo linebacker in this class is pretty deep. The problem is it's very specialized deep. And I feel like a lot of people look at C.J. Allen and he's not Arvell Reese and he's not Sonny Styles, and to them that means he shouldn't go in the first round. You have got to get out of that mindset. There are almost universally, of every analyst I know, I do not know one that has more than 22 first-round picks. Most of them are in the 15 range. What does that tell you? At 26, you're gonna get a player that probably should be a second-rounder. C.J. Allen is one of those. The thing is that the drop-off at linebacker from him is significant.
Mm-hmm.
And you need somebody that can pilot the middle of that defense. Dorian Williams, that's the hyper-athletic one. I need somebody that can come downhill and just thump. And that's what C.J. Allen is. I mean, I feel like people keep forgetting the Buffalo Bills are going to a 3-4. You're not built for that in any way. Now, if you look at who they took in the first round or in the first couple days of last year, you're going to have Landon Jackson, T.J. Sanders, and Dayon Walker on the front of that D-line. With Ed Oliver rotating in, there's another one that I'm missing. Then you got Rousseau, and all those edge rushers are standing up on the outside. That could be pretty good. What I'm afraid Buffalo is going to do is feel the urge to reach for a corner, because the only two that I really like in round one are Delane and McCoy, and I just don't see a way McCoy's making it that far. That's who I wanted to give to Buffalo. I just don't see a way he's going to make it that far.
Right.
He's going to run at the pro day. He'll probably do the same thing Delane did and run a 4.3 something. And everybody will lose their minds and will forget everything about him not playing last year, because he's the 24 tape's that good.
Is that definitive? Is he running at the pro day?
It's what I was told.
Right.
So it is 1 week from yesterday.
I feel like it's been setback after setback, at least as far as viewing Jermon McCoy from the scout standpoint, from the media standpoint. So what if he doesn't?
And see, that's the funny part of this. Is if McCoy doesn't run, I wouldn't take him at 26. There's no in between. He either runs well, and he won't be there, or he doesn't run, and I can't touch him.
And I won't touch him because he refuses to do physical activity in front of us to show us what that knee looks like.
It makes me want to ask Jermon McCoy, have you ever played professional cornhole? Because I'm starting to worry.
All right, and then finally for the AFC East, what is the piece that could, quote-unquote, fix the runners-up, the New England Patriots?
So New England's in kind of a weird boat. I'll give you the teams that are in this same boat. Of your picking in a place that I don't think there's a great answer to your problems. Philadelphia. I don't feel like there's a great answer to what you need.
Okay.
Because probably everybody that you wanted is already going to be gone. Minnesota at 18. I feel like you're in this weird honey hole of what you really needed is already gone because you won too many games. And then you're either going to have to reach or you're going to have to take the player that I ultimately gave them.
Mm-hmm.
There are a handful of these teams. New England, I think, has this really good benefit of you can just sit here and let a guy that I think fixes a problem for you fall right in your lap.
Okay.
It's Caden McDonald, the D tackle out of Ohio State. I know not everybody likes him as much as I do. I think he is an absolute dog defensively. And if you put him in the middle of that defense, that gives you the true plugger nose tackle.
Mm-hmm.
And as time has gone on, the more I've looked at New England, the more that's what's made sense to me. Do you disagree?
So you put Caden McDonald in between Christian Barmore and Milton Williams.
I'm not positive that Christian Barmore's going to be there.
Oh, is he on the block?
He's been kind of on the outs in New England for a while. And I'm just not positive.
What kind of capital could they get for him?
Barmore?
Yeah, like what? Because that sounds like a draft day deal to me.
I've thought it probably happens late in day two.
Mm-hmm.
I think he probably fetches a late day two pick because he's already been paid. So New England's going to end up eating part of that contract. And there does come a time with defensive tackles where it gets super thin. You get past Corleone and the two bigs, Big Citrus and Big Godfather.
Yeah.
It gets yee quick
because you're already past Lee Hunter at that point.
Past Lee Hunter, you're past Darrell Jackson. And then you get into the Kristen Millers.
I mean, Kristen Miller's not bad.
You don't just blindly defend your guy. You don't like him.
He a dog.
Yes, he was a Georgia Bulldog. That is factually accurate.
Indeed.
I know you don't like him either, so don't.
Nah, I mean he's nothing special. He's a plugger.
He was the name that kept happening at the end of the first round, where I was like, why do I not feel good about this? And the more time's gone on, the more I've gone, oh, here's why, because he belongs in the third round.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He most definitely was an example of that old cartoon strip. Do you remember? Did you ever see the newspaper cartoon, The Pluggers? That was just the everyday. It was like a lesson in everyday life of this is what plug. It was kind of like a you might be a redneck cartoon in the comic strip on Sundays, and it was you have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
Not even. The
funny.
only words that you've said in the last minute that I understood were "you might be a redneck."
Okay, all right.
If you've ever said it's all relative at the family reunion,
you had to at least pass by the comic strip page to get to the sports page in the newspaper. Come on, you're not that old.
I never read cartoons.
Really?
No. My dad liked Calvin and Hobbes, but that was.
But only when Calvin was peeing on stuff. Is that
that did help?
Did he have a New England Patriots Calvin sticker on his car? Did he really?
It wasn't the New England Patriots.
Oh,
it was another team.
Steelers.
Nope.
Dolphins.
Nope. It's not about the Jets.
Cowboys.
Duke.
Oh, see, that's the one to have. Good for him. See, I wasn't even thinking college. I'm too locked into the NFL. I should have known that.
He had one that was Duke and one that was number 24 for Jeff Gordon.
Of course your dad hated the Rainbow Warrior.
Oh, yeah.
Raise hell, praise Dale.
I did like Calvin and Hobbes. It's just every other cartoon. Like, it just –
right.
I don't know. I grew up in a technology age. There was something about watching cartoons in the newspaper that I went, I think there's a better way to do this. I think I'm going to go sit in front of that moving picture box and watch Tom and Jerry. How's that sound?
He's a worker. That was the point that I was trying to make. He's just an average worker.
Yeah, so was the Brooklyn Brawler.
100%.
That is a great reference.
It was. All right, let's fix the teams from the AFC South. First up, the Tennessee Titans. They pick at 4, so it's got to be the running back, right?
I don't think so.
Really? Okay.
I go back to the question that I asked. Is running back the biggest need on this team? Honestly, is it the biggest need on this team? Are you okay with Tony Pollard? Yes or no?
I mean, I guess.
I know you hate him.
It would not
and the fact that PFF had him as the best running back in the league at one point has stuck in your craw for years.
I don't hate it.
I get that.
I don't hate him. I liked him until he became overrated to me. To me, he's not a number one back in this league.
So you're telling me you can find 32 backs in the NFL better than Tony Pollard?
No,
because I'll dare you to do that now.
No, but
I don't think you can find 20.
Really?
No.
Okay.
We've been over this.
All right.
Do you know how quickly you get into that Zach Charbonnet area of the world? Because I can go ahead and tell you, it's higher than you think.
I think I'd take Charbonnet over him.
I think that is – hold on. I got to think back. I believe that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard you say. You might as well have just looked at me and said, I'd take Tyler Algier over Tony Pollard. He doubled down. He did it 2 times.
I did.
You are out of your mind.
Tony Pollard's been in Siberia, so I mean he really doesn't have any benefit from.
Look,
me right
I'm
now.
not sitting here telling you he's the best running back in the league. A team at 4, it is hard for me to look at that and go, that's what I need to do, especially when I get to the point that I have Jermaine Johnson, Jacob Martin, and Ola Oladejo, who I still maintains a linebacker. That's my edge rushers. Yeah, I can't. Not in this defense, I can't. It's David Bailey.
Okay.
And I know that sounds wild, and I think people probably thought I was going to say Sonny Styles because he does have like Fred Warner upside.
Mm-hmm.
That defense that Saleh plays, especially when things get wide. Just think back to Will McDonald. Will McDonald was pretty successful with Robert Saleh. David Bailey is Will McDonald on steroids. Because David Bailey is huge. And you put him out on the outside like that, probably 90% of the tackles in the league not going to be able to block him.
Mm-hmm.
So you're taking this player that I already really like, and you're putting him in absolutely the best humanly possible situation ever, which is he only has to play 60% of snaps because Saleh rotates him so often. And you've got Oladejo, who I think can spell him. You got Jermaine Johnson, who I think can spell him. And then in pass rush situations, he's a dog.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bailey's the right call there.
Okay.
If not, I wouldn't be mad at Sonny Styles, but I think Jeremiah Love is wrong for the Titans. I wouldn't be mad at Love. I just think there is a time that you can overdraft a position because you're trying to prop up the guy you took last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. You want that running back behind Cam Ward. I don't dispute your thought process. I just think you're putting the cart before the horse.
Okay. The Houston Texans. Next up.
Any living, breathing offensive lineman?
Well, what is that lineman going to be when they pick it? Where do they pick?
28.
28.
Is it bad that I know the draft order off the top of my head?
No.
I did this earlier.
Point, you should about have it.
I did this earlier. I said somebody's third-round pick off the top of my head, and Cristiano looked at me and went, do you have that written down somewhere? Because you should not know that off the top of your head.
I've already done how many mock drafts?
I've been staring at it a lot. It's been there a lot.
When you play matchmaker this much, you kind of tend to get into the I remember what their picks are.
So I don't think there's one that really – I cheated with the Texans. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
I didn't want to give them Caden Proctor again because they've already gotten their turn on the Caden Proctor wheel because every fan base hates it when I say that name. So I'm going to say they look to somebody to the interior of the defensive line in round 1. It's those 2 second-round picks. That's where my ears kind of perked up. Keelan Rutledge, the guard out of Georgia Tech. Now hear me out on my explanation of why that is. We're pretty locked in on the tackles with the Houston Texans. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
I'm not telling you they're great. They've shown their hand of this is what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
With Urshery, with Braden Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Trent Brown's going to be the swing.
Mm-hmm.
You signed Evan Brown. You've got Wyatt Teller. Keelan Rutledge, I think, can play center. There's not a ton of them in this class that can. And if you don't see Keelan Rutledge the same way that I do, I saw him take snaps at the Senior Bowl. That's why it's in my head of, ooh, that could be a nasty center. If you want to sub that out for Jake Slaughter, more power to you. But I feel like the Houston Texans have thrown a lot of bullets at this gun that we haven't really talked about. Because Wyatt Teller's still a good guard. It might only be for a year. But if you're planning on having Keelan Rutledge as one of those kind of swing guys, he can play center for a year and then slide out with Teller. You also brought back Ed Ingram. I think Evan Brown was brought in to be a backup.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong. Because I think the guards are Teller and Ingram, and then I would have Rutledge playing center.
Okay.
For a year with the intention of replacing Teller. Because Teller's, 34?
So Keelan Rutledge in the second round at 38? Is that where you're saying Houston should take him?
I would probably use I'd probably use the second rounder.
59?
59.
Okay.
If I'm Houston, I would look at Caden McDonald. I would look at Caleb Banks if Caleb Banks were to fall in their lap because he re-injured the foot. I don't know that there's an offensive lineman that makes sense at 28. I feel like that's what every mock's going to say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious. Did Fields mock today? Did it have a lineman to Houston at 28?
Let me look real quick. Still got that open at 28. He had Peter Woods in Clemson.
Peter Woods ain't making it at 28. Why does everybody hate him so much? I cannot wrap my brain around that.
I think it's the.
Did he cavort with somebody's sister? What is the deal with Peter Woods?
It's the production numbers. I think that's what it is. That is driving him down because he had 9 tackles and 2 sacks in his what was supposed to be his star year. I think a lot of people are swayed. A lot of analysts are swayed as well by the fact of where he was. Right, coming into this past year, he was at 4, 5 at worst. Now he has a senior year like he had, where we've said it time and time again, everybody from Clemson looked bad. And so now you're at the point where it's not a premium position. Everybody else takes precedence over him, and I don't think he's fallen that far. I'm just trying to make sense of why others do it. Because to me, Peter Woods is the top 16 pick.
Oh, I agree unequivocally.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're so worried about tackles and stats like that, then you know what? Let's go get Red Murdoch in round 1, linebacker from Buffalo. That'll probably be a 7th-round pick, but he was 3rd in college football in tackles.
Yeah, that's stupid.
To me, Peter Woods is the definition of you've either watched the tape or you haven't, and the more words you say denigrating him, the more tape I know you haven't watched.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, there comes a time that you watch it and go, he's double-teamed on literally every single play you watch.
All right, next up to fix in the AFC South. I believe it's the Indianapolis Colts next with the 47th pick in the draft. We'll be right back here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
We honor the biggest stars from all genres of music that you loved listening to all year long.
Don't miss our 2026 iHeartRadio Music Awards. Watch live on Fox Thursday night starting at 8 p.m. And listen on iHeartRadio stations across America and the free iHeart app.
Trashy is a proud partner of the 2026 iHeartRadio Music Awards. This spring, turn your closet clutter into rewards with the Take Back Bag. Learn more and get started at trashy.io.
Running for office means having something important to say. Radio is the most personal medium out there. Voters hear the real you, exactly the way you want to be heard. No filters, no AI, just your voice, your message. And it's 1/10 the time and cost of video. Don't just campaign. Connect with millions all over the country, even thousands in the smallest communities with radio. Be on the air in just 48 hours. Visit winwithiheart.com. That's winwithiheart.com.
I'm Daniel Alarcon. I'm John Green, co-host of the podcast The Away End with my old friend Daniel. I remember the first time I took my oldest son to an actual live soccer game. And when you step out through the concourse and you can see the field, he did like that, like a sharp intake of breath. And he said, "This is so unusual for my eyes." Oh, I love that. Together, we'll find out why, of all the unimportant things, football, soccer, is the most important.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search The Away End with Daniel Alarcon and John Green, and listen now.
Politics and Pints, a civil sit-down about the day's top issues. 570 WWNC invites you to join our bipartisan panel of special guests April 16th at 6:30 at Cultivated Cocktails on Charlotte Highway.
Selling your home? Don't settle for average. Our real estate team at Clarissa Sells WNC and eXp Realty offers Zillow Showcase, an exclusive AI-powered listing experience available to just the top 10% of all listings in our area. With immersive media, cutting-edge design, and elevated marketing, Showcase listings, they go pending quicker and sell for up to $9,000 more than standard listings. Ready to stand out in a crowded market? Give our team a call today, 828-774-6343, because your home deserves the spotlight.
I'm Coley Duffy.
I'm Cody Ward.
And
we're the Chainsaw Brothers.
Actually, we're cousins. A few days after Helene, we was in the driveway having a couple beers, waiting on the power to come back on. And we heard so many people calling, needing trees removed, and couldn't afford it.
So I called my dad to borrow a chainsaw, and over the next few months, we cleared trees for our neighbors. Our business was born out of wanting to help Western North Carolina get back on our feet.
We are fully insured and licensed. We keep our promises, meaning if we say we're going to be there, we'll be there. In these parts, we live how we were raised.
When you call the Chainsaw Brothers, you're not a customer, you're family. We're good at what we do, and we do it for a reasonable cost.
For all your chainsaw needs, call the Chainsaw Brothers. 828-316-1013. Or find us on Facebook. See how we treat our family.
Are you still covered up with storm damage and debris?
Call us about our daily rates at 828-316-1013. That's 828-316-1013. We're the Chainsaw Brothers, and with our neighbors, we are Western North Carolina strong.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Let's open up the whole can of kick ass and kill them all. Let the paramedics sort them out.
We're fixing every NFL team with that one piece in the draft that you need.
Are you this way with other people, or is it just me? Because you know what I noticed? The girls haven't been here for a couple days. You're 10 times more vulgar when they're not around than when they are.
Well, you gotta be.
They're like, "Oh, Tank's the nice one," and I'm like, "Did you hear what he just said?"
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, you're not there. Of course you're not.
It's manners. We don't talk that way in front of women. AFC South. We're fixing every NFL team with that one piece that you need in the 2026 NFL Draft, which we will be there live, and we'll take you with us to Pittsburgh. Well, you know,
I mean, not physically.
Not physically, but
in case you didn't hear earlier, we were talking about prices. We ain't physically taking anybody with us because I'm not actually sure I'm going to take the ones we already have.
The 2026 NFL Draft closing out the.
My morals are going to have to get a little looser.
Ingles living the dream tour.
Expensive.
Mm-hmm. AFC South, let's fix the Jacksonville Jaguars in one pick.
Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, excuse me, the Indianapolis Colts in one pick.
Harold Perkins Jr. I get it. I do. I get it. It was really that freshman year, and then everything got wonky.
That's enough.
He's still a freak of nature.
That's one of those production things.
Let me ask you a question. Over the last 5 years, name me a defensive coordinator that runs more cover zero than Lou Anarumo.
Can't.
You know why?
They ain't one.
Because they ain't one. I think Harold Perkins is going to be a cheat code for a coordinator like Lou Anarumo. He's a decent coverage guy. I mean, he's not – the JOK comparison dies in that he's a way better blitzer than JOK was, and he's not nearly as good in coverage. But they're both light. They're both incredibly athletic. Lou Anarumo lives in nickel. I don't know that he's called the most, but I know he's in the top couple.
Mm-hmm.
He lives in that formation. And I think Perkins is going to be a cheat code in that. Because he can cover tight ends as long as they're not gigantic. And he's just an absolute howitzer coming off the edge. Also, I think he's a way better player than you saw at LSU.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of those that I watch the tape and it's absolutely maddening because I know what he can do and I know what he was asked to do.
Yeah.
And those two things don't make any sense together.
Yeah.
Then I see him run a 4.38 and I go, somebody's going to fall in love with that in the middle of round two. I know they are. I've done this too many times.
Mm-hmm.
I've read this book so many times of, but he's undersized. Everybody in the league is getting smaller. So, yes, he is undersized for a linebacker. I don't know that I care, especially with a coordinator that plays 5 defensive backs as much as Anarumo does.
All right, so Harold Perkins at number 47 in the second round for Indianapolis. And then Jacksonville, their first pick is at 56.
Lee Hunter.
Does he fall
And yes,
that
I think
far?
he's going to fall that far.
Really? Okay.
I think it always perks my ears when every time I talk about a guy, and look, there's a lot of good to say about Lee Hunter. He's one of my favorite prospects that I've actually talked to face-to-face. I keep hearing that vertical, that 21.5-inch vertical. It's screaming to an athleticism issue. And I've had a couple people in the chat that are like, why do you care how much a defensive tackle jumped? It's not that. It's a vert that low screams, this is not a hyper athlete.
Mm-hmm.
And so you start factoring in, how many snaps a game can he play? Then you go back and start watching the snap counts at Texas A&M, or at Texas Tech, excuse me, and the snap counts at UCF. And you go, that's an alarming trend. I think he's a situational player. And that's how teams are going to view it. I have him in my top 30. So I think he should go that high. I just don't think he's going to.
Right.
And I think there is a possibility that he falls right in the lap of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Field Yates had him at 52 today in his mock draft. So
yep.
apparently he is fallen, and the vertical definitely didn't help. All right, the AFC North. How do we fix them? With a pick in the draft. The Cleveland Browns have the number 6 pick. Who do they get?
It's Monroe Freeling. Do I think he belongs at 6? No. Do I think he's going to go that high? Yeah, I'm pretty confident of it.
Mm-hmm. Got to have a left tackle in this league.
And there's just not a lot of them. This is a bizarre draft class because you have so many guys that play on the right or so many guys that are going to kick into guard, and the one position of need because you're stuck with DeJuan Jones right now. And Cleveland fans, I know what you're going to say to me of, well, DeJuan wasn't that bad as a left tackle. Mm-hmm. You've bulked the lineup now, so there's way less gravy to spill on taters of where that blitz is going to go. I'll tell you, with how this line's built right now, you will see more blitzes at him than you have ever seen before. And they'll send 2 guys at him routinely because they know he's not fleet of foot enough to pick up both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how small they are. You'll get more corner blitzes off the left side than you have ever seen the likes of in your life. And you don't have anybody else that can play on the left side. Mm-hmm. I've already heard the Elgton Jenkins thing because he has played left tackle before. I don't think that will go well. That was in absolute desperation. Him and Zach Tom both did it. That's not where that's going to go. And I'm telling you, there's not a receiver at 6 that deserves to go that high. 24, different story.
Mm-hmm. Monroe Freeling at 6 to the Cleveland Browns.
He's raw, but if you can get the potential out of him, that line in Cleveland could be good.
Mm-hmm. Cincinnati picks 10th. What's their one piece that they could add that will fix this team? And is it at 10?
This is the other one that I cheated at.
Okay.
You find a way to get one of those linebackers from Ohio State. I don't care what it costs.
Get up to get Styles.
I think you would probably have to get up to 6 with Cleveland. And I'm not going to lie. I did put my thumb on the scale here because I did them back-to-back for a reason. I don't think Monroe Freeling should go at 6. But if you told me they drop back to 10, I don't think there's anybody there that's a risk to them.
Mm-hmm.
You drop back to 10, you do bring in the Rams, but I don't think the Rams are trading up. I also don't think they need a left tackle. They would be fine with Fano or one of these guys who play on the right side if that's where they decide to go. I just don't think there's any downside. And if I'm Cincinnati and Sonny Styles is sitting on the board at 6, and I'm pretty confident Cleveland's not going to take him, I have to make the call.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to tell me no. Because if you tell me I can go Styles with I can't remember his first name now. Demetrius. I kept wanting to call him DeMarcus for some reason. Demetrius Knight.
Yeah.
And now I have those 2 as my linebackers going forward. I feel so good about this. What I was talking about earlier with teams that are in great positions, the Cincinnati Bengals are on the bottom of that list. Because I keep looking at Cincinnati going, I don't know that they would pass on Caleb Downs, but I also know that they would take him. And then I feel like all of the players that really feel a need for you, you're either taking them too high, of which I do think 10 is too high for Peter Woods,
mm-hmm.
and you've added a couple defensive tackles, which makes me think less and less that that's where you're going to go. I also do find it kind of ironic that the move they made, Jonathan Allen, is that the one they signed?
Yes.
The move they made on Jonathan Allen, do you know when they did that?
When?
2 hours after Peter Woods ran at his pro day.
Mm.
Or ran his pro day. I don't think that's ironic because Cincinnati was there and they had a bunch of guys there. And then right after that, soon as he leaves the field, all of a sudden they've agreed to terms with Jonathan Allen. I don't think that's ironic.
All right. Baltimore Ravens. How do you fix them?
Oh, this might be the easiest one in the class. Vega Ioane. He falls to 14, and I'm telling you, Ioane is one of those that I'm getting more and more and more and more convinced. A smart team's going to take him, and he's going to go higher than you think. Because I haven't heard a negative word about him yet. Whether it's about him as a person, him as a player, the tape jumps off. And I just keep looking at Baltimore going, I've read this book with Baltimore a few times, and very rarely do I ever look at this team and go, my God, there is just a giant hole on this team. It's at guard.
Mm-hmm.
He added Emory Jones last year, so maybe that's what you're planning on doing. But I don't necessarily believe that. I think there is a guard they're in love with, and I am reasonably confident it's Vega Ioane.
Yeah. All right, and then the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Also makes up for no Tyler Linderbaum, because now you have that big
Ty Simpson
hulking piece in the middle. No, Ty Simpson is he is not the one for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay, all right. So you did it wrong. I got you. No.
I believe I said to fix the problem, not just add a player that plays the position that you need.
We don't need to Mason Rudolph this thing.
Which is exactly what Ty Simpson would be. I went Mekhi Lemon.
Okay.
So hear me out. Mm-hmm. Right now, if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, what do you have weapons-wise?
Unfortunately, Kenny Gainwell anymore. That ship has sailed.
I knew he was going to find this out.
You got Metcalf and Pittman.
Mm-hmm.
So this is your slot guy.
Mm-hmm.
Mekhi Lemon fits in very, very nicely there. And then you've got
I don't put much stock in.
You've got Dowdle and Warren, the 1-2 punch at running back.
I don't put much stock in Roman Wilson. And maybe Mike McCarthy does. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I doubt it.
Mm-hmm. As a 3, sure.
4
or a 4, excuse me.
To me, that's a 4.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you handled the secondary pretty well. By the way, this is where Jaquan Brisker landed. I don't think you and I have discussed that yet.
We had not.
Yeah, he's from Pennsylvania. He grew up a Steelers fan.
Nasty.
And he got like $5 million for a year there.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at the young guys on that defense, whether it's Harmon, Yahya Black, they added Sebastian Joseph Day. I think you've done a lot to help the defense. I need one more playmaker, and I really need somebody that can win. Because I think DK Metcalf's going to win on the outside. I don't think Michael Pittman wins consistently. You're going to have to accurately throw to him. And I just don't know who the quarterback is. So you give me a Mekhi Lemon. If I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm looking at this going, that could work. That's going to be a lot of fun to throw to. And who loves a head case receiver more than the Pittsburgh Steelers? Nobody.
Now you have 2 of them. Congratulations.
Oh, that would be – you talk about a fun room. I just show up to work on Tuesday. Hey, what crazy thing did you do this week? Now, let me tell you. What crazy thing did I do?
Mekhi Lemon.
I rented an Airbnb in Pensacola, Florida with this girl. We did some crazy stuff. She saw the show yesterday. You know why that's funny.
You are in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll start on the NFC, picking the best fit or the best fix for all of the teams in the 2026 NFL Draft. Sportsocracy coming back next.
ESPN Asheville, your mountain weather forecast.
Not a bad run here now. Temperatures have backed off just a bit. If you didn't prep for the cooler weather this morning, tomorrow morning could be a little bit colder. Actually, it will be. 60, a little bit more sunshine this afternoon. Tonight to about 35 is where the overnight low is going to go with more clouds later. Wednesday, any clouds around give way to sunshine, 65. Thursday, sunny, mild, upper 70s, and probably close to 80 on Friday, and mostly sunny. For the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Every now and then you find a deal that actually feels like a win. With Straight Talk Wireless, you get more and pay less. Now that's a good deal. No contracts, no credit checks, no surprises, all on Verizon's 5G network. Find it in the same place you've always found straightforward prices, exclusively at Walmart and StraightTalk.com.
In North Carolina, be ready for wildfire by creating defensible space around your home. Clear all dead vegetation and flammable items, such as wood piles and spare lumber, within 30 feet of structures or propane tanks. More tips at PreventWildfireNC.org.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. Learn more at wearebroadcasters.com/hope. Furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
champions don't disappear. They reload, and the 2026 Atlanta Braves are ready.
Chopping toward another playoff run. The Mountains home for Braves baseball, ESPN Asheville. Brought to you by Parks Ford of Hendersonville.
I'm Scarlett Johansson. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. You can join the movement to end hunger by donating, volunteering, and advocating. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Got a thought?
Just wanted to chime in.
No hold times here.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Tap the red talkback mic on the iHeartRadio app and send us a voice note instantly.
I do agree with that guess.
A stress-free way to join the convo on your own time. Try it now on the free iHeartRadio app.
It's the moment you dream of. The moment you work for. Train for. Run wind sprints when nobody's watching for. The moment when hours of gym time, court time, prep time, all culminate into this time. The moment when millions of bounces, blocks, and boards all add up to this. Your moment. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
Selling your home? Don't settle for average. Our real estate team at Clarissa Sells WNC and eXp Realty offers Zillow Showcase, an exclusive AI-powered listing experience available to just the top 10% of all listings in our area. With immersive media, cutting-edge design, and elevated marketing, Showcase listings, they go pending quicker and sell for up to $9,000 more than standard listings. Ready to stand out in a crowded market? Give our team a call today, 828-774-6343, because your home deserves the spotlight.
We're back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. The crime section is going to be so good that we're skipping over the outside. We're just going to tell you that one story.
Crimes is so weird that it is weird and crimes all in one stationary.
Yes, it is. We're fixing all the NFL teams here at the Sportsocracy today.
Really gives us a leg up on the competition.
What piece could your team have in the NFL draft that could fix the biggest problem or one of the biggest problems with your team? It's time to talk about the NFC. Just like in the AFC, we start the NFC in the West. The Arizona Cardinals up first. They do not trade into the first round to get Ty Simpson in this exercise like Field Yates had them earlier today.
I said you need to fix problems, not create new ones.
So Arizona, where do they go with their first pick of the draft at 3?
I'm getting more and more convinced that it's Fano and not Maui Noah. I cannot find anybody that's still saying the same things about Maui Noah that they were saying a week ago. And that scares me because it makes me think somebody is floating it out there. I like Fano. I thought his combine workout was fantastic. I think his tape's fantastic. If you want to have two hyper-athletic tackles, Paris Johnson and Spencer Fano makes all the sense in the world to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it doesn't change a ton for this year because you're going to have Brissett. This allows the defense to get a year older. Now, if you want to get into a piece for the second round, I do really like taking one of the defensive tackles there, whether it's Hunter, maybe Caleb Banks falls that far. I will say I doubt it, but if he were, Caden McDonald, if he were to fall that far, that would be the piece there. But I think if I'm Arizona, I am looking at is there somebody that would make a move up for Jeremiah Love to get in front of the Titans and in front of the Giants? If I could move down and still get Fano, we have done this exercise particularly well.
Right.
And I think there's a possibility that you can.
Who would it be? Would Washington do something like that?
No.
I wouldn't think so.
No.
New Orleans, Kansas City.
Don't undervalue New Orleans. I don't think they would trade up to do it, but don't undervalue New Orleans with Love. Okay. I hear them attached to each other a lot. Mm-hmm. We have 2 Super Chats to get to.
All right.
Give me that money. Give me that money. Give me that money. Give me that money.
Great North, and I actually think I accidentally just answered this question. What team's going to Jags trade up for Travis Hunter in this draft? I think if anybody did it, it would be for Jeremiah Love. And I don't see a team that's within striking distance because Arizona's not dropping to 25.
No.
I don't see one that's within striking distance that makes a ton of sense. Maybe the Giants trade up from 5 to 3 to get in front of Tennessee. But, I mean, it's not like they're flush with capital. They're not just sitting here with 22 picks or anything like that.
Would you drop to the 20s for a pick next year?
That is a far more interesting question. Because now I'm talking about I'm going to have to go Lamu or Blake Miller, which I like those guys. I don't like them nearly as much as I like Fano.
Sure.
But I could go Caleb Tiernan. I mean, there's a lot of ways you could go if you did that. Mm-hmm. I don't know that anybody's going to offer that. I don't, because I don't think there's anybody that's so pressed at running back. I mean, Seattle is the team that I look at and go, Jeremiah Love changes things for you. I don't think they're going to do that. Mm-hmm. And then we have one more.
Give me that money. Give me that money.
All right, it's from Red Sea, who said, the problem I have with the Fano angle is that we haven't met with him to my knowledge. I'm really glad you brought this up. It took me a long time to learn this. Just because you didn't meet with a guy doesn't mean you won't take him. You remember a fun story about last year's first round? Of the 32 players that went in the first round last year, 11 of them did not meet with the team that selected them at any point.
That many. Wow.
There are times that teams just rely on the tape, and maybe they had a scout talk to him in the halls, they talked to the agent, whatever. They did their due diligence on him, and they feel good about him personally. They don't necessarily meet with him, because I will tell you, meeting with a guy does tip off teams.
Yes.
Like the Atlanta Falcons, who just met with Mike Washington Jr., which you get 30 visits, and how you got to that one, I'd kill to have somebody explain to me, especially since you just signed Brian Robinson Jr.
Well, you got to have two running backs. Brian Robinson is a nice third one.
Andreas Pinckney said it in YouTube chat. The Saints do it all the time. They rarely meet with prospects that they're intending to draft. The Rams do it. The Rams are like super cloak and dagger. They meet with nothing but guys that are in like the 700s. Mm-hmm. And then they wind up signing 10 of them as undrafted free agents. But then they draft guys that they've had no contact with whatsoever. I do use meetings for certain teams because there are certain teams that really tip their hand with meetings because they want them building. I would say at this point that's probably 30% of the league, maybe 40. And then there's another half. You take that with a grain of salt because it does not mean squat.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk about those Rams. How do you fix them?
Is there a position you feel better about the Rams taking at 13 than others? Rams fans soured me on the idea of taking an offensive tackle. Unless there's just, like, Maui Noah falls in your lap or something goofy like that.
Yeah.
Which he's not going to.
I mean, we've talked about the fact that Rams fans are really believers in Warren McClendon.
Which is fine. I mean, it's not that I don't believe in him. I don't think he's a plus. And if I have a luxury pick and the best player on the board's a tackle, that's where I fall in. I'm less confident that that's the way this is going to go than I've ever been before.
I know this is not going to be your pick here because we've already talked about this guy, but I've seen him in several mock drafts in the last few days going to the Los Angeles Rams, and I can't get it out of my head now. It's Mekhi Lemon. Going Mekhi Lemon with Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. How many different combinations can I throw at the opposing team to just go, I don't know who to cover?
You know what my problem is?
That would be freaky.
Yeah, you know what my problem with Mekhi? It's ironic you said that because that is the position I took, just not the right guy.
Okay.
You know what my problem with Mekhi Lemon is?
What is that?
What percentage of snaps did Puka Nacua play out of the slot last year?
Oh, I'll guess it's 57.
Nope, 33.
33, okay.
It takes away the one of the things that's so daunting about Puka is that he can do both. He's one of the few receivers that he doesn't lose anything. With Mekhi Lemon, now he has to play out wide because Lemon can, to me, only play out of the slot. Mm-hmm. That's the reason I don't like him there. I like him somewhere like Pittsburgh where, well, of course he's playing out of the slot because I have two gigantors on the outside.
Right.
I'm not playing Michael Pittman out of the slot all that much. Not saying I won't do it, just saying I won't do it a lot.
They'll 100% still do it.
See, I want the guy that can ultimately be the replacement to Devontae Adams 2 years from now. So I went Carnell Tate.
Okay.
And I think Tate and Adams on the outside, that's two technicians running routes. And then you got Puka Nacua coming out of the slot. And in two wide receiver sets, it's Nacua and Adams. You can get Adams some rest with Tate because, Adams is an older guy. So it cuts his snap count down. It's a luxury pick. Them having a pick at 13 is a luxury. They do not have huge needs. They completely overhauled the secondary. And so now I feel good about the defense. If there was an edge rusher there that I felt great about, that's who I take. But I don't. Yep. There are a couple guys that I could take if I was desperate. To me, the Rams aren't desperate. I can just take the best player on the board, and I think the best player on the board is going to be Carnell Tate.
All right, San Francisco, 4th and Niners.
San Francisco frustrates me. First of all, they're probably the worst drafting team in the NFL. Consistently. And I laugh because you know for a fact I do not like this guy, and I keep putting him with San Francisco because I think they're the team that has driven him up this far.
Okay.
Omar Cooper. Kid from Indiana. It's not that I don't like him. I cannot for the life of me figure out, and I'm not saying that they would take him in the first round. I'm just saying I think if everybody is so dedicated that this kid is so much better than I think he is, where does he fit? And as I look at San Francisco, is there anybody on that team that really scares you? I mean, legit scares you.
Well, you have Mike Evans now.
Okay. I said legit scares you.
You're not afraid of Mike Evans anymore? Okay.
You tell me where I'm wrong. Mike Evans will be 33 years old before he plays another game.
Yep.
He was hurt last year.
Yes.
Receivers tend to hit a wall at 32. He's a great red zone threat. He does not scare me over the top, especially if I have a big physical corner.
Well, he's not going to burn you, that's for sure.
For sure. You signed Christian Kirk, of which Christian Kirk, my Lord have mercy, how many teams are going to sign him and go, oh, yeah, we're good? No, you're not. No, you're not. He's not what you think he is. He hasn't been what you think he is since he got paid by the Jacksonville Jaguars. He had that 1 year. Other than that, he's a 700-yard-a-year guy at best. I think Cooper can be what they're believing that Christian Kirk can be.
Okay.
Which is an over-the-top threat because Pearsall doesn't scare you deep. I'm pretty confident at this point the Juwan Jennings ship has sailed. And I need somebody that can beat me. That can beat you over the top. And for me, I can't believe that's Christian Kirk.
I was going to say, if the Juwan Jennings ship has sailed, then they're definitely not going to do this in the first round. I don't think they'd take a wide receiver in the first round if they were, if they already if they had Juwan Jennings back.
I said the Juwan Jennings ship has sailed, which means I don't think there's a path of him coming back.
I know, that's what I'm saying. If that is the case, then they definitely would not take a wide receiver in this.
If he was coming back, I think we'd already done it.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Because what that tells me is you're fighting about money, and at some point, and yes, there is a team in my mind that has been there the whole time, and it is the team that has the number one pick in this draft. At some point, they're going to go, oh, we got money. Would you like it? Here you go.
And then he's a superstar, at least for that zip code. The Seattle Seahawks.
Seattle's a funny team for me because you're coming off a Super Bowl. And I still look at your roster and go, I don't want to mess with Seattle. I mean, it's still a really good team. But there's one gigantic hole that I just keep looking at going, you understand you still don't have a running back, right? Like, there's not one on this team that because I'm not scared of Zach Charbonnet. You said that about Tony Pollard earlier, and, I wasn't trying to be a jerk. This is a 4-yard per carry guy and has been largely his entire career, and that was with Kenny Walker. What do you think he'll be without him? He's a really good pass-catching back. I have never thought he's anything more than that. I went Mike Washington Jr.
Okay.
I mean, because you're not going to get to Jeremiah Love. Running back in this class is gnarly. They love big corners. There are a lot of them in the middle rounds, whether it's Julian Neal, Hezekiah Masses, Traden Stukes. There's a lot of bigger-bodied, longer-armed guys that they can get there, so I didn't attack that first. There are a handful of centers, whether it's Connor Lew, Jake Slaughter. There are a lot of options there. Mike Washington is the one. Because if you don't take him, I don't know who you think you're going to start.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that tells me you think it's going to be Charbonnet, and
sure.
I don't think that's going to go the way you want it to.
All right, the Mike Washington Jr. for Seattle.
Or as I like to call him, the reincarnation of one DeMarco Murray.
Omar Cooper for the San Francisco 49ers. Carnell Tate for the Rams. And Spencer Fano toward the top of the draft for the Arizona Cardinals. We're fixing every NFL team with that one piece in the 2026 NFL Draft that you can attain. We'll continue with the NFC East when we return in the Sportsocracy.
ESPN Asheville, your mountain weather forecast.
Not a bad run here now. Temperatures have backed off just a bit. If you didn't prep for the cooler weather this morning, tomorrow morning could be a little bit colder. Actually, it will be. 60, a little bit more sunshine this afternoon. Tonight to about 35 is where the overnight low is going to go with more clouds later. Wednesday, any clouds around give way to sunshine, 65. Thursday, sunny, mild, upper 70s, and probably close to 80 on Friday, and mostly sunny. For the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Staging.
This report is sponsored by True Green. Warmer weather is here, and the weeds aren't far behind. But the lawn care pros at True Green are ready. Don't wait. Sign up at TrueGreen.com by April 7th and get 6 weeks free. Let the pros do the work so you can enjoy your weekend. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Miss Fernandez, what are those tiny things?
Those are called amoebas. You can only see them through a microscope.
Wow. Today's students are tomorrow's great thinkers and innovators. But right now, there's a funding crisis in public schools. Donors Choose is a nonprofit that lets you support students and teachers in your community and beyond. You could provide pencils and paper, help a music class get a guitar,
or even a science project for a classroom like mine.
Learn more at DonorsChoose.org.
Politics and Pints, a civil sit-down about the day's top issues. 570 WWNC invites you to join our bipartisan panel of special guests April 16th at 6:30 at Cultivated Cocktails on Charlotte Highway.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our value of commitment, committed to you as our customers and the community that we serve. To do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Clarissa sells WNC as the #1 team in Buncombe County. We have the customer service experience to assist you in achieving your real estate goals. Our team offers something that 90% of listings in our market won't have, Zillow Showcase. Check us out at clarissasellswnc.com.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our value of commitment, committed to you as our customers and the community that we serve. To do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
I'm Coley Duffy.
I'm Cody Ward.
And
we're the Chainsaw Brothers.
Actually, we're cousins. A few days after Helene, we was in the driveway having a couple beers, waiting on the power to come back on. And we heard so many people calling, needing trees removed, and couldn't afford it.
So I called my dad to borrow a chainsaw, and over the next few months, we cleared trees for our neighbors. Our business was born out of wanting to help Western North Carolina get back on our feet.
We are fully insured and licensed. We keep our promises, meaning if we say we're going to be there, we'll be there. In these parts, we live how we were raised.
When you call the Chainsaw Brothers, you're not a customer, you're family. We're good at what we do, and we do it for a reasonable cost.
For all your chainsaw needs, call the Chainsaw Brothers. 828-316-1013. Or find us on Facebook. See how we treat our family.
Are you still covered up with storm damage and debris?
Call us about our daily rates at 828-316-1013. That's 828-316-1013. We're the Chainsaw Brothers, and with our neighbors, we are Western North Carolina strong.
Woohoo!
It's the moment you dream of, the moment you work for. All culminate into this time, your moment. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
This season isn't a reset, it's a reminder. The champions don't disappear. They reload. And the 2026 Atlanta Braves are ready.
And Acuna swings a mighty bat. That thing is way out of the ballpark.
Chopping toward another playoff run. Sale, Strider, and Schwellenbach. Acuna, Albies, Olsen, and Baldwin. The Mountains' home for Braves baseball is ESPN Asheville. Proudly brought to you by Parks Ford of Hendersonville.
Selling your home? Don't settle for average. Our real estate team at Clarissa Sells WNC and eXp Realty offers Zillow Showcase, an exclusive AI-powered listing experience available to just the top 10% of all listings in our area. With immersive media, cutting-edge design, and elevated marketing, Showcase listings, they go pending quicker and sell for up to $9,000 more than standard listings. Ready to stand out in a crowded market? Give our team a call today, 828-774-6343, because your home deserves the spotlight.
Asheville's #1 sports station, ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. Live from the Ingalls studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog eat! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons. By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Sportsocracy heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app, and we are seen everywhere on the YouTubes. Just go to thesportsocracy.com. Click the live video link. Subscribe to the channel. That's the way to get into the chat and get in touch with us immediately. You hear something stupid, you can chat. You can get into the chat with us. And we'll read it out, especially if you call me stupid. Jeremy will definitely read that out loud.
You want to hear something not stupid? I had a
silence your phone.
Apparently, I should. That's 2 days in a row.
Dumb ways to die.
Yes, my ringtone is dumb ways to die because calling me is dumb ways to die. Nutter butter. It's the most underrated cookie in the world.
Okay.
I mean, it's a creme de la creme high-end cookie.
It is.
And nobody treats it that way. It's sad. Mm-hmm. It's a sad thing. I've made it a mission in life. I will get the Nutter Butter the respect it deserves.
Well, I mean, the Nutter Butter is good, but, it's no Oreo. So
you're right. It's better.
Stop that.
And it's really not all that close.
Stop.
I'm not a cream guy.
Okay.
I mean, an Oreo's fine. Nobody's ever handed me one, and I've gone, oh, what is this garbage you have brought my way? But you hand me a Nutter Butter, I will shake your hand. I will look you in the eye and go, thank you. You have brightened my day.
Okay. All right. We're fixing every NFL team with that one piece that can have a major impact in the 2026 NFL Draft. We've gone through all of the AFC. Now we're up to the NFC East. So, strap in there, Dallas Cowboys fans. You're coming up soon. The New York Football Giants.
Jeremiah Love. Jeremiah Love. Yeah, it's for me, the New York Giants sit on the clock at 5 and go, hey, Tennessee, you do you. And whichever you don't do, we will do. So if you take Sonny Styles, we'll take Jeremiah Love. If you take Jeremiah Love, we'll take Sonny Styles, and we'll be hunky-dunky. How does that sound?
But there's one of these teams running back.
Yeah. Captain CTE, the guy that thinks asthma is, the guy that thinks asthma is fake. Yeah, I'll pass.
CTE's just an excuse. Now watch me bang my head into a wall for another 45 times, and then guess what? That's going to be like one of the biggest pieces of karma ever.
Oh, I mean, that'll be Rudy Gobert coughing on the microphone. Like,
right.
CTE's just an excuse. You know how I know? Because I've had it for a long time.
I played with CTE since I was 12.
Yeah, he's
stop saying stupid things.
I think it's funny that the zeal on that rose it lost its luster so fast. Jeremiah Love's a legit, true, honest to God number one running back. Mm-hmm. He's Bijan Robinson. He's Saquon Barkley. I'll be honest with you. I think he's a top 5 running back by the end of his rookie year. That's how good I think this kid actually is.
Yeah.
And you add him to Jackson Dart and Malik Neighbors. I feel like they'll probably add another weapon at some point. You got Isaiah Likely. The line's getting better. Things look good for the Giants. I mean, I still don't think you're a playoff team, but you're trending in the right direction.
Okay. You've already done Arvell Reese. You've already done David Bailey. I'm really interested to know who's on your list for the Washington Commanders at number 7.
I didn't say I didn't duplicate guys. I said I tried.
Oh, excuse me.
I tried not to duplicate
okay,
guys.
Excuse me. All right, so there's a duplicate.
I didn't say that there was
Right,
look,
fair enough.
There's only so many good players in this class.
Right. Okay. All right.
And in fairness, Washington's another one of those teams that's in a really good spot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I traded down at one point with Washington because I do look at them and go, you know. Oh, and in fairness, I had to check this. I haven't done Sonny Styles yet. David Bailey went to the Tennessee Titans.
Ah, okay. No, you did Sonny Styles to Cincinnati.
I said they have to find a way to get up and get one of them. It's Sonny Styles.
Yeah, okay.
That's the drop dead to me. You've got Arvell Reese, you got David Bailey, you got Sonny Styles. And now I think you've thrown Mansour Delane in it. So if I'm Washington, I'm just sitting here like that old guy at the locker room that's like, you can look at it or you can look away. I don't really care because I'm going to get what I want right here at number 7. I know they want a second-round pick. I don't know that I care.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I care. I will also tell you, I know there is one of these front 7 guys that they like better than the other one. I just can't put my thumb on who it is.
Yeah.
I think it's Styles. And I thought it was Styles the whole time. It could be David Bailey. I don't think they were. When NFL teams say cryptic things, I don't think you were delusional enough to think Arvell Reese was falling 7.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even before I fell in love with the idea of him going to the Jets, he wasn't getting out of the top 5.
Well, I mean, there was the hope. There was the hope he would, and then the combine happened, and I think that changed everything.
Arvell Reese could have come out of the combine and run on his hands, and I genuinely think he would still have gone forward to the Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
So, and this is just how I'm sounding it out. Maybe they felt differently. I don't think they did.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was one of the two they wanted. And Sonny Styles is the one that I think could fall right in their lap. If he doesn't, it's Mansour Delane. And then I've got Delane and Amos and Sain Rastrill for the next handful of years, and I feel good about that too.
Yep.
Washington, just RELAX. There's no path that they're all going. It ain't out there.
True. Let's go to the team picking at number 12, the Dallas Cowboys.
You're going to hate this, and I know it. I don't think Cowboy fans are going to hate it, though.
Okay.
If you're Dallas at 12, what are you hoping happens? Like, what is your A-plus best-case scenario falls in my lap?
I would think an edge rusher.
No, there's not an edge rusher
It's
that's
not
going to fall in your lap. Which one do you think is going to fall to 12?
It's not happening.
David Bailey they could have found him in a parking lot somewhere with a bloody knife and blood on his clothes. He still wouldn't fall to 12. So take that one out of your.
Reuben Bain.
Maybe. Caleb Downs. What if the knee pushes Downs all the way to 12?
Okay.
Is that not the most Jerry Jones move you could possibly see? Of that he just goes, well, I might be dead by the time that knee gives out, and I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
Go Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I specifically remember Sir Timothy saying, I think they've needed a safety my entire life.
Retire that star now. Retire that jersey now.
And they added Jalen Thompson, but I don't think that would preclude Caleb Downs. I have long been of the belief that just because he's better near the line doesn't mean he can't play deep. I think he can do it all. Mm-hmm. And you tell me you've got that behind that secondary. You did invest in Revel. Whether I like it or not, you've invested in Deron Bland. You added Kobe Durant, which maybe that's the one you think is going to push him into the slot. I don't know.
Okay.
But you get that safety back behind him. You got one of the premier players sitting at 12, which I did not expect you were going to be able to do.
Right.
And then at 20, you can take whatever you want. If you want to go edge rusher, you can go TJ Parker. There are a couple others you could take right there. I don't love it, but you could.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go corner, you can do that. If you want to go lineman, at the right tackle position, you can do that. But for me, the Dallas Cowboys' best case scenario, Reuben Bain, I don't love in their system. I think Reuben Bain's a hand-down edge.
Okay.
Not beholden to that, because there is one situation, the one I drafted him to in this scenario, where they play a hybrid front. But I think it works, and there's a very specific reason that I think it works.
Okay. The Philadelphia Eagles to round out the NFC East.
Philadelphia just makes me angry.
Why? Because the draft seems to work out for them?
No, because actually, now that you said that, that does make me feel better because the draft does always seem to work out for them.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, I don't think it's going to.
Okay.
I would love to add an offensive lineman. My question is, who in the world do you think's getting there? Is Caden Proctor? I don't think Caden Proctor is anybody's best case scenario.
Caleb Lomu.
He's undersized. Blake Miller at 23 is your best case scenario? Stop.
Pregnon. I mean, that's where you're at with the offensive lineman.
Yeah, and Pregnon could be there. I don't know that they would take him because there is another player that I haven't said yet. And I'm tying all these loose ends together because this opens you up to do whatever you want to with A.J. Brown.
Okay.
Jordan Tyson. Is that not Philadelphia Eagle 101 that this kid just falls in their lap and they go, we'll take the risk. It's fine. And then the A.J. Brown market is bring us your best offer.
Mm-hmm.
And we want compensation this year and that one next year. Because now we have all the ammo. Oh, you don't want to give it to us? Okay, we'll lather up next year with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Jordan Tyson. Good luck.
Yep.
And Dallas Goedert and Saquon Barkley. We would officially have the single best group of targets in the league.
23 seems real low for me for Jordan Tyson.
I'm telling you, I heard so much bad about him. It negated everything I heard at the Combine. It negated everything he did.
And this is
the minute he didn't run.
This is the medical.
It's taken him I actually saw a reel earlier that quantified the number of days it's been, and it was like 117 days, something like that. And he's still not over it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was the excuse he gave, was that the hamstring had tightened up. The hamstring tightened up, and you haven't done anything. Just training has kept your hamstring a problem.
Right.
That will scare the heber-jeebers out of NFL teams.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see a possibility. I didn't see it before. By the way, that's why Lemon's so much higher now than he was. Because now I think Lemon's probably past Tyson. Not on my board, but where he goes.
Mm-hmm.
Because, Mekhi Lemon got a little mile high. Jordan Tyson may never play more than 8 games in a season. Okay, yeah, I think I'll take the former, not the latter.
Jordan Tyson needs to get on the phone right now to Mike Evans and ask. Because Mike Evans has had a hamstring for 7 years and still only missed what? Aside from this past year, like 5 games. But constantly dealing with hamstring injuries and being limited. It can be a struggle, and if you're not a dog, if you're not a first ballot Hall of Famer like Mike Evans, hamstrings could be a career injury.
Well, and that's the thing with Tyson is that he's a lottery ticket. Because if you're right, oh boy, that offense just became impossible to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I wanted an offensive lineman. I can't reach in this. If you want a lineman later in the class, there are so many right tackles that can be the heir apparent. Max Ionacher is the number one off the top of my head.
Yep.
They can be the heir apparent to Lane Johnson. I can do that later. You know what I can't do? I can't get a player like this. And Philadelphia, how often do they do this? Where they sit there and they take a player that it doesn't make a ton of sense, but you factor that into the A.J. Brown talks, who I don't think he'd have talked this much if you didn't want to move him. And now that gives you a guy that allows you to do that without throwing Jalen Hurts out there with Devontae Smith and nothing else.
Mm-hmm. Jordan Tyson definitely fills would fill that role of the guy who's so talented, it's hard to overlook when it falls into your lap. And teams like Baltimore and Philadelphia, they don't let those guys slip by. So it makes a lot of sense.
They don't do that because they're never desperate. It's never, because honestly, what position does Philadelphia have to have?
Mm-hmm.
Not would like to have. Where are they, the Miami Dolphins, where they're going, we're going to start a UFL player if we don't address this? They don't have one.
There's not one.
I mean, even guard, which we're sitting here going, my God, how doomed are they there? They still have Willie Lampkin. You got Landon Dickerson, who, we talked about, he's going to retire. No, he's not.
Mm-hmm.
Juergens plays center. You got Drew Kendall behind him. Tyler Steen, I get it. People don't love him. You still got Cameron Williams.
Mm-hmm.
He's drafted last year late. That's a lot of bullets in that gun that you can chuck at this if something like Jordan Tyson were to fall in your lap. And you still have Hollywood Brown, too, which is
correct.
Nanners.
You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. We'll take the break, and when we come back, it is NFC South time. We'll talk about the Carolina Panthers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Atlanta Falcons, New Orleans Saints. Was the one piece that could fix all those teams that is attainable in the 2026 NFL Draft. We'll be right back.
Honor the biggest stars from all genres of music that you loved listening to all year long.
Don't miss our 2026 iHeartRadio Music Awards. Watch live on Fox Thursday night starting at 8 p.m. and listen on iHeartRadio stations across America and the free iHeart app.
Trashy is a proud partner of the 2026 iHeartRadio Music Awards. This spring, turn your closet clutter into rewards with the Take Back Bag. Learn more and get started at trashy.io.
It all started with a bracket full of dreams. And soon, one team will cut down the nets. College hoops are in the spotlight and have everyone talking.
You think you know what's going to happen, but it never goes as scripted.
Lock in Fox Sports Radio as your number one preset on the iHeartRadio app for the hottest takes, biggest interviews, and complete coverage. Plus, binge on-demand podcast for more coverage like Good Game with Sarah Spain.
Basketball, and more basketball.
Search college basketball on the iHeartRadio app and listen now.
Speed on the bases, power at the plate, Gold Glove defense across the diamond. The Stars of Atlanta are ready to take the field.
Michael Harris going to sprint back, and he somehow makes the catch, Willie Mays style, and goes into the wall.
Back and under new management, Tar Heel Walt Weiss takes the helm, chopping toward another playoff run. The Mountain's home for Braves baseball is ESPN Asheville, proudly brought to you by Parks Ford of Hendersonville.
I'm Amy Grant. No one was more surprised than I was to learn I was living with a rare heart condition. So listen to your heart. I'm here today because I did. Learn more at helpheart.org.
Clarissa sells WNC as the #1 team in Buncombe County. We have the customer service experience to assist you in achieving your real estate goals. Our team offers something that 90% of listings in our market won't have, Zillow Showcase. Check us out at clarissasellswnc.com.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Ford of Hendersonville. Our value of commitment.
It's the moment
committed to you as our
of.
customers
The
and the
moment
community that we
work
serve.
for.
To do better,
Train
be better
for.
every day. That's the Parks Promise. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
I'm Coley Duffy.
I'm Cody Ward.
And
we're the Chainsaw Brothers.
Actually, we're cousins. A few days after Helene, we was in the driveway having a couple beers, waiting on the power to come back on. And we heard so many people calling, needing trees removed, and couldn't afford it.
So I called my dad to borrow a chainsaw, and over the next few months, we cleared trees for our neighbors. Our business was born out of wanting to help Western North Carolina get back on our feet.
We are fully insured and licensed. We keep our promises, meaning if we say we're going to be there, we'll be there. In these parts, we live how we were raised.
When you call the Chainsaw Brothers, you're not a customer, you're family. We're good at what we do, and we do it for a reasonable cost.
For all your chainsaw needs, call the Chainsaw Brothers. 828-316-1013. Or find us on Facebook. See how we treat our family.
Are you still covered up with storm damage and debris?
Call us about our daily rates at 828-316-1013. That's 828-316-1013. We're the Chainsaw Brothers, and with our neighbors, we are Western North Carolina strong.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Hello, everybody. This is good old JR Jim Ross, WWE Hall of Famer. Boy, these boys are smart. You talk about goofier than a pet coon. Let me tell you something. This show is a legitimate slobber knocker.
Oh, it always makes me smile when I hear that, JR.
Good old JR.
Because it takes me back to when he cut that for us. He was in town working with Evelyn Charities, and we were over at the Ingalls on New Leicester Highway. And that's where we recorded that, was just sitting there at the deli having sandwiches, just talking wrestling. It was pretty good day.
It's a high-level day.
It was a high-level day, no doubt about it. Welcome back into the Sportsocracy. How are you going to fix your team in the NFL draft? Or how's your GM going to fix your team in the NFL draft? The NFC South, what's that one piece that each team could get? New Orleans Saints up first.
Reuben Bain.
You going 8 with Bain?
I think that's where he belongs.
Okay.
And I think looking at New Orleans, the thing about Bain is that he's too big to stand up. And a lot of people think that if you put him with his hand down in a 3-4, that he's just going to be completely irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really agree with you, because I think he has so much pop, and you have Chase Young behind him, that I think it can cover him. Also could open up Brian Breeze, because now you have somebody a little more threatening than Vernon Broughton, or Nathan Shepard, or one of those guys. And then when you go into four-man fronts and pass rushing downs, he can play inside or outside.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at what they have, that's kind of intriguing to me.
But in a 3-4 scheme, he can't be that outside linebacker?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think he's fast enough. I think he'd get completely exposed in coverage. I'm not saying you couldn't do it from time to time. I don't think it's going to go well.
Yeah.
I think he will absolutely be
because
targeted.
that's the one thing I've heard about him, and maybe it's just from my discussions with you, of the best part about him is the first step, right? The explosiveness off the ball. He doesn't have the arm length to really play fight with the tackles. So if you had a head of steam coming behind him, to me that would make sense. But if he doesn't have the head of steam, then it's really irrelevant.
The thing about Bain is that he's so explosive that as a pass rusher, I could actually see him doing it. The problem is that it's really going to signal what you're doing, because I don't think you can drop him.
Yeah. Okay.
But you talk about in a four-man front, I think he is going to be a problem, especially if he has Chase Young on the opposite side of him.
Yep. Reuben Bain to the New Orleans Saints. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
This one was tough. I really wanted to say Kenyon Sadiq.
Mm-hmm. But
so many of your Buccaneer – well, it does fix a need because you need a tight end. You do. K-Dot. Just stop it.
You have K-Dot.
Yeah, stop. Durham Smythe do much for you? Okay, then K-Dot shouldn't do much either, just because he's real tall. But that's not the one I went with. I got this wild hair not long ago, and I don't know why this player with this scheme fits so well for me. It's R. Mason Thomas.
Okay.
I don't think he's going as high as other people do. I love him. He's in my top 25. But he's so situational because he's a little undersized. He did not hold up well against the run. I think he's going to be a standing 3-4 outside linebacker. But when I see him, I see Nick Bonito. I mean, they look like mirror images at times.
Okay.
Bonito has a higher high side, but I think Mason Thomas has a safer floor. I did see him in the first round of Field Yates mock earlier and went,
That's
haven't seen that a ton.
That's what I was getting ready to bring up was because he came off the board not too long.
20. I believe it was the Dallas Cowboys.
20 to the Dallas Cowboys. So, and I guess that was my question was, is he a top 15 pick?
If you took him at 15, I wouldn't be mad.
Really? Okay. All right. I got to pay more attention to him because I don't have much frame of reference for him right now.
He wins constantly.
Okay.
And if you remember, I said the same thing about Benito.
Mm-hmm.
Of if you don't care his deficiencies against the run, which Tampa Bay shouldn't, because you have a gigantor in the middle of this defense that's always going to keep you good enough against the run.
Yeah, Christian
you run
Roseboom.
at him all you want to. Oh, stop. Stop.
Well, Christian Roseboom's going to solve all the problems.
I just don't care. I mean, if Tampa Bay took him at 15, I'll go ahead and tell you, I wouldn't give it. It would not be an A because you overdrafted him a little bit. It wouldn't be. It would either be an A- or a B+.
Okay.
And that's at 15.
Mm-hmm.
You get him lower than that?
That's one I had not considered, and I kept I keep staring at these mock drafts going, Akeem Mesidor at 15 because he's the only edge rusher left, and that's what you need, and we got to have an edge rusher.
The problem with Mesidor is, I see, to me, Mesidor's second-round guy.
See, I hate that, but that's what I hate about the drafting for need thing, because if you draft for need at 15 – and it's not there, you're reaching.
Well,
you're doing Joe Tryon-Shoyinka again.
Sure, and you've got to add a pass rush because now that you have the legend of Kenny Gainwell, the offense is taken care of. That's why I didn't give you Kenyon Sadiq.
It's all so
now that you have Kenny Gainwell, future Hall of Fame, $7 million a year MVP Kenny Gainwell, the offense, hands off.
Yep.
Just, it's good.
Yep.
And you have Baker Mayfield and Kenneth Gainwell, which is all you'll ever need.
No doubt.
It's the first need that you needed.
All right, let's go to the Carolina Panthers.
Do you know how hard it was to keep a straight face throughout the whole? I had to bury the lead with Kenyon Sadiq and then tie it back, and you didn't throw anything. That makes me sad.
Yeah. Carolina Panthers.
Kenny underpaid Gainwell, as Joshua just said. Value proposition. Carolina Panthers. Wow. Carolina's in an interesting position because I feel like they've done so much on the defense.
Okay.
That, and I said this last night. I actually talked about this for quite some time last night on Overtime, which you can find Monday nights. Fox Sports Upstate, our friends down in Greenville, South Carolina. It's also why I'm a little worse for the wear today because I didn't get home until very late.
Yeah.
I could go Kenyon Sadiq. I didn't. And I actually didn't even go your first-round pick. I like Sadiq a lot. I think he ties the offense together. You want to acknowledge that one as the Panthers? Ian.
Okay.
Jacob Rodriguez, linebacker at Texas Tech. Okay. I think Bill Workman has officially convinced me that Carolina has to do this at all cost. It doesn't matter. And then you lose Roseboom. You've got Devin Lloyd, Devin Lloyd's kind of a wild man. In that he can do practically anything, but you've got to have somebody that gives him the freedom to do it. I think Jacob Rodriguez gives him the freedom to do it. And you get into complementary drafting where you put those two beside each other. You got the Scorton and Uman Malayan and Jalen Phillips on the outside. We're getting to a point where I'm starting to think that defense might be really, really good. Especially if you take Caleb Banks at 19. You had Caleb Banks and Jacob Rodriguez. Okay, that defense it's got a lot of dudes.
It does.
I do think Carolina's the drop dead on Sadiq, though. He's not getting any lower than that.
Oh, I would agree with that.
I don't think he's getting there, but he's definitely not getting any lower.
Yeah. All right, then the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, Atlanta, I had to dig a little deeper because they don't pick for quite some time. But at least they still have James Pierce. Sorry, it's too easy. I tried to tell y'all last year, James Pierce is a character red flag. Go back and listen to it. It's in 1,000 live streams.
Sure.
And it's weird. The audio cuts out every time at the same place. Bizarre. Ted Hurst, wide receiver out of Georgia State. I'm getting to the point that I think Hurst is going to go ahead of a slew of wide receivers that you don't expect him to. And you know what team probably knows him better than any other?
The one in the same city.
The one whose headquarters is literally like a solid drive down the street from Georgia State. It's got to have flowering branches a little
It's a little farther than that. Isn't that where the headquarters is?
Oh, that's the headquarters. I was more thinking
the stadium.
Yeah, the stadium's right there.
Oh, sure. You could have a good 5 or 6 Jeremy long drives, and you know, with a golf ball, and you'd be to Georgia State.
You put one on the road, you might be there in one. That bad boy's gonna bounce, and it ain't gonna hit anything soft for a while.
You could bounce that thing.
I like Hurst a lot on the outside. I think you got to have a burner. At some point, you got to have somebody that can win over the top, because Drake London he's just a big possession guy. Now, he's a great big possession guy. You brought back Kyle Pitts. I still am not convinced that there's not another piece that's going to wind up here, but Ted Hurst is the one that I just keep looking at going, if Atlanta finds a way to get him, that offense might be okay. And it'll definitely be okay once you figure out that neither one of your left-handed quarterbacks are any good.
Yeah. All right, Ted Hurst for the Atlanta Falcons. And then the NFC North.
We start with the Lions, which oddly enough is the team drafting first of NFC North teams, and they're 17. This is for their second-round pick, not their first one. I don't know exactly what they're going to do with the line, and I don't claim to.
Okay.
It's not like Dan Campbell's asking me, hey, you think Penei Sewell can play on the left side? I do, but what you think and what I think could be wildly different. It's Zion Young, the edge rusher out of Missouri. I keep looking at that spot opposite from Aiden Hutchinson going, do you realize how big of an opportunity you're actually missing with how many bullets you've thrown at the secondary? Do you realize how much the Lions have thrown at the secondary in the last handful of years?
No.
I'm going to give you the list of corners currently under contract to the Detroit Lions. DJ Reed, Terrion Arnold, Roger McCreary, Enos Rakestraw, Christian Ezian, which you know quite well, Rock Yassin, and Brian Branch plays corner in the slot quite a bit. Can you name me a team in the NFL that has more between money and capital wrapped up in corners than the Detroit Lions?
No.
You've thrown all these bullets at it. You've only got one guy that really scares me as an edge rusher, and I like DJ Wanham. I think he's fine, but he needs to be a part of a rotation. I don't think that guy can be your down-in, down-out edge rusher. And if you don't believe me, look at the Carolina Panthers. He was there. At any point, did you think he was enough of a threat for you to go, yeah? Didn't matter what was on the other side. Yeah. He's a rotational piece. You need somebody on the opposite side. What they do in the first round, we could go a lot of ways. Monroe Freeling, we could go Vega Ioane if he somehow got past Baltimore. I think that's a drop dead on Fano. I think they're going offensive line. I just don't know what Brad Holmes is thinking about how you're going to construct this line. You got rid of Taylor Decker, and you have really made no inroads to an actual replacement. And I hate to tell you this, Larry Borum ain't it. So they have a plan somewhere. The question is, what is the plan? And I just don't know. Anything I said would be a sheer guess.
At the next pick, number, what is that? The Minnesota Vikings.
Minnesota's Dylan Theinman, the safety out of Oregon. Evo with our friends at Raw Dog Sports, he got this in my head. He is a Vikings fan, and once he got it in my head, now it just won't leave. And now it doesn't matter who else I put at 18. None of them do what I want them to do. Because I like Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, but the more I've watched his tape, the more I see there's little belly buttons to him that I'm not necessarily trusting him to be a focal point of the defense the way I can trust Theinman. I don't know that Theinman's ever going to be exactly what you want him to be, but I don't see any bust in him whatsoever. And if you look at Minnesota, and I'm going to be totally honest, I hate the build of this roster. Because even with Kyler Murray, who I think doesn't fit in that offense well at all, the defense is going to have to carry you. And right now I've got Jay Ward playing safety. Yep, that's a big old pass from me. I need somebody that can be that deep center fielder, but also can help Metellus be the movable piece that he is. And I think that's Theinman. I got to have somebody that can play single high, and he's the only one I got.
All right, let's go to the Chicago Bears.
The Bears are funny because it seems like no matter who I give them, their fan base tells me I'm wrong. So, you know what? I've finally seen it your way. I will not go T.J. Parker again in this, even though I do like him a lot for you. It's Caleb Banks. You tried it with Grady Jarrett. You tried it with Gervon Dexter. None of those guys have been the piece you want them to be. And I think, in spite of how good Caleb Banks is, the foot injury that happened at the Combine and the fact that it's the same foot that he hurt during the year that cost him so much of this season, I think it's going to push him down. And he'll fall right in the lap of Chicago, and he can be that absolute monster in the middle of that defense that they've been looking for. As time has gone on, you've had a separation. And I feel like tape and talent-wise, Caleb Banks is just better than every defensive tackle in this class that's not Peter Woods. I don't think Peter Woods is getting 25. Do you?
I do not.
I mean, he shouldn't. The question is, will he? You keep saying it mock drafts. I just think it's people they're too locked in on the production and they're not watching the tape.
Yeah. I think that's more of an analyst thing than it is a scout thing.
I do too. And that's actually the perfect way to say that too, is that it has become vogue because the same thing that happened with us. We give Peter Woods to Cincinnati, we get crucified in the comments. I think that happens to analysts and they go, oh, maybe I'm wrong about that. And you push him down, and you push him down, and you push him down. Same thing happens with Caden Proctor. Caleb Banks is the one that everybody likes him. It's just an injury issue that is a problem. Mm-hmm. And Caleb Banks may be the biggest defensive tackle I've ever seen that actually fits better as a 3-tech. Somebody might draft him to be a 1. I actually think I like him better in a 4-man front.
And finally, the Green Bay Packers, the one thing that they can get in the NFL draft that could fix their biggest problem is what?
Well, Green Bay picks late, so I had to get a little cute. And, you know, I don't know exactly what the defense is going to look like because you get Jonathan Gannon as the DC replacing Hafley. I went Chris Johnson, cornerback out of San Diego State, because
love that guy.
I don't just love him. I want to do karate in the garage with him because he's the one that I think everybody's going to undervalue, and I don't know why. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is about him. It seems like every conversation I get in about Chris Johnson with people that are in the know and then they're around the draft industry, this is where they talk about him going. I think he's back into the first-round guy, if not very early in round 2. That doesn't feel like it's where he's going to fall. And if I'm Green Bay, I'm sitting there having lost that first-round pick on Micah Parsons, I'm going to let the best player that fills a need for me fall in my lap. They need a corner really, really bad. And I think Chris Johnson could be their one off the rip. I've had people tell me he's slot specific, and I don't see that at all.
All right. Green Bay Packers with Chris Johnson. You got Caleb Banks for the Chicago Bears. Dylan Theinman, the remake of Harrison Smith, going to the Minnesota Vikings. And then Detroit was – remind me, who was Detroit?
Zion Young. Because I didn't want to touch the first-round pick. Brad, buddy, you've done many things very well, and I do not know your plan, but I trust the process, and I trust you.
All right, that's fixing every NFL team with what you can attain in the NFL draft. Good job by you, Jeremy.
Thank you.
As always, you can stay tuned to the Sportsocracy all throughout the draft season, and we will have the best coverage that we can give you leading up to the 2026 NFL Draft in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which we will be on hand for in just 1 month.
We are officially to the draft every day, all day, and we'll sprinkle in some other stuff, like the most important message of the day.
Indeed.
And the message has never been more important than today. Mm-hmm. It's not just don't do crimes. It's could somebody please, for the love of God, explain to me how this crime happened? Because the dynamics of it don't make any sense.
Mm-mm. I mean, I've read the story, and for one, I'm stumped. We'll be back.
ESPN Asheville, your mountain weather forecast.
Not a bad run here now. Temperatures have backed off just a bit. If you didn't prep for the cooler weather this morning, tomorrow morning could be a little bit colder. Actually, it will be. 60, a little bit more sunshine this afternoon. Tonight to about 35 is where the overnight low is going to go with more clouds later. Wednesday, any clouds around give way to sunshine, 65. Thursday, sunny, mild, upper 70s, and probably close to 80 on Friday and mostly sunny. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members buy more and save more, like up to 25% off select molding when you spend $1,000 or more. Shop Pro Savings Days deals now at Lowe's. Valid through 3/27. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Visit the Pro Desk or Lowes.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
You know who's listening to the radio? Voters. Lots of them. So if you're running for office, this right here, great place to reach them. And it's not like social media where people are just swiping through ads. With radio, they're engaged. Plus, it's 1/10 the time and cost of video. Don't just campaign. Connect with millions all over the country, even thousands in the smallest communities with radio. Call now and be on the air in just 48 hours. 844-844-IHEART. That's 844-844-IHEART.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a staff accountant at the height of tax season.
Congrats. Looks like the company owes, $50 in taxes. How about that?
That seems low. Why only 50?
Why do you care so much? It's not your money.
This is your job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Got a hot take?
Read the room.
Don't let it die in the group chat. Tap the red talkback mic on the iHeartRadio app and join the show.
Love the show, but I disagree with you guys.
It's the fastest way to get your voice on the air. Say it, send it, and hear it on the iHeartRadio app.
It's the moment you dream of. The moment you work for. Train for. Run wind sprints when nobody's watching for. The moment when hours of gym time, court time, prep time, all culminate into this time. The moment when millions of bounces, blocks, and boards all add up to this. Your moment. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our value of commitment. Committed to you as our customers and the community that we serve. To do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Clarissa sells WNC as the #1 team in Buncombe County. We have the customer service experience to assist you in achieving your real estate goals. Our team offers something that 90% of listings in our market won't have, Zillow Showcase. Check us out at clarissasellswnc.com.
I'm Coley Duffy.
I'm Cody Ward.
And
we're the Chainsaw Brothers.
Actually, we're cousins. A few days after Helene, we was in the driveway having a couple beers, waiting on the power to come back on. And we heard so many people calling, needing trees removed, and couldn't afford it.
So I called my dad to borrow a chainsaw, and over the next few months, we cleared trees for our neighbors. Our business was born out of wanting to help Western North Carolina get back on our feet.
We are fully insured and licensed. We keep our promises, meaning if we say we're going to be there, we'll be there. In these parts, we live how we were raised.
When you call the Chainsaw Brothers, you're not a customer, you're family. We're good at what we do, and we do it for a reasonable cost.
For all your chainsaw needs, call the Chainsaw Brothers. 828-316-1013. Or find us on Facebook. See how we treat our family.
Are you still covered up with storm damage and debris?
Call us about our daily rates at 828-316-1013. That's 828-316-1013. We're the Chainsaw Brothers, and with our neighbors, we're Western North Carolina strong.
Woohoo!
We are back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Time for the most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes!
Don't do crimes, especially when you're a professional athlete, right?
For sure. Noted professional cornhole player, as the AP story says. Dayton Weber, 27. I actually just learned this part when I read the story. Was behind the wheel when he opened fire on Broderick Michael Wells during an argument as they were traveling in a car in the town of La Plata. Weber, who lives in La Plata, pulled over, asked the backseat passengers to help pull Wells out of the car, but they refused. Flagged down police and reported the shooting. It is at this point Mr. Weber went on the run. I mean, not figuratively. It figuratively, not literally. As he drove the car to someone's yard, dumped the body out, and took off. I left out a very important part of this story. Dayton Weber is a quadruple amputee, which means he has no arms and he has no legs. I have 11 questions off the jump. Number one, first and foremost, and I haven't heard anybody ask this question yet. How are there 3 people in a car with being driven by a man with no hands and no foots? I believe someone else in this vehicle might have been better equipped to drive it. The second, and without a doubt the most pressing question, how the hell did you get shot by a guy with no hands? I saw the video. It's all over the interweb. It was on his YouTube where he can shoot a gun. It also took like a minute 47. Look, watch. 3 passengers of the car, as he's fumbling around, just go, no. That's a no dog. You. No, dog. We're not going to let you do that.
Why? Why is he driving? Why is he going armed to the terror of the public when he can't do that without the weapon? I
will say that the La Plata Sheriff's Department put out a message that said he was disarmed and extremely dangerous. Socially acceptable to make jokes because he killed a guy.
I did not know that this was a thing. I didn't know he was a thing. Did you?
I had seen video of him on the cornhole tour because he takes the and he was really good.
He's a floor flipper, right? I mean, he's on the floor and just kind of chest passes the things, and somehow he's brilliant at it. But he is not brilliant at life because that's not how we handle our problems. And yes, I blame the 3 people who were in that car with him. Okay, let him drive. I'm sure he drives all the time.
Sure.
He's got the attachments or whatever. Okay. Does he have like mechanical hands? Is this like...
No, I saw him shoot a gun. There is no attachment, and it takes a long time.
He's got to have attachments for the driving.
Maybe.
That's what I'm saying.
He doesn't for the shooting, which is all I care about.
No, I mean he could do that with the stubs, but you can't. I just don't see how you could do both. I want footage. I need inside the car footage to see how this is managed.
You know what I need footage of? How the hell did he move the body? Because he threw the body in somebody's yard.
Well, he didn't.
He did. He was by himself. It's in the press release. I'm looking at it. Well, they found the body away from him.
But
what did he do?
But the other 3 dudes in the car, did they take off?
Yes.
And then
they flagged down cops and he took off. How did he get the body out of the car?
I don't know. That's a good question. I've got so many questions. So many questions. No answers.
No!
None.
This is the time where, okay, I am a huge proponent of law enforcement. This is a time we need a press conference. I need you to answer some questions. Not the least of which is how did somebody not just go, no.
Take it away from me.
You see, and I asked this question earlier. Where did the gun come from? All right, so just let's go semantics here. Dayton is driving the car. He's locked in. He gets into an argument with the passenger. At some point, he had to reach for the firearm. How did nobody just go, no, no, no? Was it in his waistband? If so, how was the waistband staying up? Because he doesn't have any legs. It's driving me nuts.
I mean, the elastic.
Sure.
Would keep it there.
But that's holding up a gun. Or was it in a holster? If it's in a holster, how did he get it out of the holster?
All great questions.
This is why I need an information. Rick Rice is that guy here in Asheville. Rick, make a call.
He'd have a busy
because
day.
my brain is about to explode trying to figure out the mechanics of this.
Just all of that talent wasted, and now sitting in a jail cell. or at least waiting trial. I mean, is he in jail? Did he post bond? Did they refuse bond?
He did kill a guy.
Well, so. I mean, I would hope so. He's definitely a flight risk. I mean, I don't care if he doesn't have any natural legs. Any guy who can drive a car and shoot someone at the same time with no arms and legs, that guy's definitely a flight risk. So good on the court system for making sure that he can't go nowhere. Did they have to cut off his uniform, the prison uniform? Or do you think they tied him in knots like Lieutenant Dan?
You're a terrible person.
I'm not.
You're just a terrible person.
I'm trying to imagine what the scenario is now. Because I don't feel like he's going to have fun in prison.
I will say, no, he is not. I will say, I wish there had been a live camera on whoever wrote the all points bulletin. The suspect is considered armed and shoot.
No!
He is on foot. Oh, shoot! You can't do it. It's not possible. Okay? Daryl, shut up. You asked me to do something that can't be did. It's going to sound bad no matter how I say it.
In the end, I think it's important for us to remember that someone lost their life in all of this. And our thoughts and prayers go to the family of that
For
person.
sure. And to the fullest extent of the law.
Mm-hmm. It's too hard to ignore. You can't get away from all of the questions that surface of how does a quadruple amputee driving a car shoot and kill someone.
And now we know definitively that Mr. Dayton here will be at the mercy of the long arm of the law.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. So I've had my days mixed up. Apparently, just got the old reminder email that the baseball season starts Friday, not on Thursday, as I've been saying. So Friday will be our first broadcast of the Atlanta Braves radio network here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Apparently there have been a lot of schedule changes as well as far as start times, so now I got to go through the whole season again. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. You'll be able to hear all of Braves baseball here on ESPN Asheville throughout the long and arduous baseball season. We'll have the best Draftmas coverage for you here in the Sportsocracy, though. For the next few weeks leading up to our big trip to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 2026 NFL Draft is, I hate to say it, but according to the story Jeremy told earlier today, if you want to go to Pittsburgh, it may cost you an arm and a leg. Prices are high. Hotel rooms unattainable. The parking's going to be a bit of a whiffle, isn't it?
As somebody that's having to pay for all of these things, yeah, it's going to be a little expensive. Which is a good time to point out there are still presenting sponsorships available for our NFL draft coverage. There's not many of them left because they're been taken by all of our lovely partners. Engel Supermarkets, low prices, love savings.
Mm-hmm.
Parks Ford of Hendersonville, providing the lovely mobile studio that gets us to and from all of our different events.
Mm-hmm.
I do have to figure out how we're all going to fit in 2 cars because we only have 2 parking spots. There are 11 of us.
We can throw some in the bed of the truck, maybe.
What are we going to carry? I don't believe anybody wants to ride 7 hours in the back of the truck.
Well, I mean, look, you could. Just saying. Sacrifice for the brand. You could do it that way.
I know where I'll be riding. Very comfortably in the passenger seat of my own truck.
I'll be riding shotgun, so I don't know what y'all are doing.
Bet you're not. Bet you're riding driver's seat. You can play all the Eagles tunes you want.
Well, I mean, it's up front. Whatever. You are in the Sportsocracy. It's ESPN Asheville. That's going to wrap it up for us today. tomorrow on the program. Do you have a plan, Jeremy?
Well, I'm not here tomorrow, so.
Oh, you're not here tomorrow.
No, tomorrow's a Womack Wednesday.
Tomorrow's a Womack Wednesday, so we'll see if we got.
Maybe you could ask Chris Womack what he thinks about the crime story today. I'm sure somebody's going, "Oh, it's mean. He killed a guy."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not going out on that limb. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. We'll see you tomorrow, right here at noon.
ESPN Asheville. Your mountain weather forecast.
Not a bad run here now. Temperatures have backed off just a bit. If you didn't prep for the cooler weather this morning, tomorrow morning could be a little bit colder. Actually, it will be. 60, a little bit more sunshine this afternoon. Tonight to about 35 is where the overnight low is going to go with more clouds later. Wednesday, any clouds around give way to sunshine, 65. Thursday, sunny, mild, upper 70s, and probably close to 80 on Friday and mostly sunny. For the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Staging.
This report sponsored by the experts at Howard Hanna Beverly Hanks Real Estate, the real estate leader in Western North Carolina.
Howard Hanna Beverly Hanks Real Estate is not like other real estate companies. They're built differently. As the #1 family-owned real estate company in the U.S., proven expertise and personalized service delivers results. Let them show you how at Howard Hanna Beverly Hanks.
The moment the drums kick in, so does your heartbeat. The right riff. And suddenly, you're bulletproof. Asheville's Real Rock. Rock 105.1.
The foremost.
The front line.
On the front line. Most active position.
On the front line.
In a conflict.
The front lines of this vital effort. What's going on in Iran?
From the front lines.
Most intense day of strikes.
Achieving our objectives with every potential mission.
To the headlines.
Recent increase in oil and gas prices.
They want a political issue that they can use in November.
Every hour.
Continue the updates on Operation Epic Fury.
Check in for the latest.
Pinpoint accurate.
On 570 WWNC.
Join Matt and me on our podcast, Los Culturistas, where we talk to Nicole Kidman, Kristen Wiig, and so many more. Download and listen on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Champions don't disappear. They reload. And the 2026 Atlanta Braves are ready.
Chopping toward another playoff run. The Mountain's home for Braves baseball, ESPN Asheville. Brought to you by Parks Ford of Hendersonville.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
It's the moment you dream of, the moment you work for. All culminate into this time. Your moment. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
Selling your home? Don't settle for average. Our real estate team at Clarissa Sells WNC and eXp Realty offers Zillow Showcase, an exclusive AI-powered listing experience available to just the top 10% of all listings in our area. With immersive media, cutting-edge design, and elevated marketing, Showcase listings, they go pending quicker and sell for up to $9,000 more than standard listings. Ready to stand out in a crowded market? Give our team a call today, 828-774-6343, because your home deserves the spotlight.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our value of commitment. Committed to you as our customers and the community that we serve. To do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Gets the rebound, passes it to the man, shoots it, and boom goes the dynamite.
This is ESPN Asheville, Asheville's #1 sports station.
Coming up the middle on a blitz, he throws to the end zone, touchdown!
Beer City's Tar Heel station.
Off the back, iron! Wilson comes soaring in to dunk it home.
Home of the Sportsocracy.
He said, Kyle Shanahan asked, why isn't tic-tac-toe named Hugs and Kisses? Now that's all Take's going to call it.
Live from the Ingalls studio, weekdays at noon, ESPN Asheville.
I'm Coley Duffy.
I'm Cody Ward.
And
we're the Chainsaw Brothers.
Actually, we're cousins. A few days after Helene, we was in the driveway having a couple beers, waiting on the power to come back on. And we heard so many people calling, needing trees removed, and couldn't afford it.
So I called my dad to borrow a chainsaw, and over the next few months, we cleared trees for our neighbors. Our business was born out of wanting to help Western North Carolina get back on our feet.
We are fully insured and licensed. We keep our promises, meaning if we say we're going to be there, we'll be there. In these parts, we live how we were raised.
When you call the Chainsaw Brothers, you're not a customer, you're family. We're good at what we do, and we do it for a reasonable cost.
For all your chainsaw needs, call the Chainsaw Brothers. 828-316-1013. Or find us on Facebook. See how we treat our family.
Are you still covered up with storm damage and debris?
Call us about our daily rates at 828-316-1013. That's 828-316-1013. We're the Chainsaw Brothers, and with our neighbors, we are Western North Carolina strong.
Woohoo!
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Asheville's #1 sports station, ESPN Asheville. WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville.